Fly away only if you can. Far away, far away, far away. Fly away only if you can. Far away, far away. Yeah. Fly away only if you can. Far away, far away, far away. Fly away only if you can. Far away, far away. Yeah. Green, yellow, blue, fluorescent sea. Don't you know the colors of my country? I grew up between two different cultures. My dad is mental and my mom is spiritual. I had to be aware and be awake to understand the way and find my own self, yeah. There's no reason to get stuck in the same spot, waiting for the clock. The light gave me two eyes just so I can see what I have to see. Oh yes, I can walk, I can talk. So I took a minute to say thanks to the God. Oh yes, I can love, I can hate, but I choose to sit and say a little prayer.
Marie, Mère de Dieu, priez pour nous, pauvres pécheurs, maintenant et à l'heure de notre mort. Amen.
Fly away only if you can. Far away, far away, far away. Fly away only if you can. Far away, far away. Yeah. When I am in Europe, I'm black. When I'm in Africa, I'm white. What am I? Sometimes I imagine myself blind. Sometimes I think that things goes wrong, but what is right? Today you might be a rich fool. Tomorrow you can be poor and cool. So live your life, yeah. Before the life takes you. Now you are alone in a jungle, trying to find a way in the jungle. So fly away, but only far away. Far away, far away. Alone in a jungle, yeah. Trying to find a way in the jungle. So fly away, but only far away. Fly away only if you can. Far away, far away, far away. Fly away only if you can. Far away, far away.
Before we get out of here, I had a couple more questions for you, Dr. Sabi. Marijuana. Can you smoke too much? Is there such a thing?
Well, I'm 80 years of age.
Yeah.
I've been smoking marijuana ever since I was 14. So,
All right, what's going on, everybody? Just a late night creep. Wanted to hop up here and give you guys some content. Appreciate you guys being here. Those of you who are here and also the replay gang, shout out to you guys. So Mulatto community service, basically kind of generic discussion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share some comments that I've received from, some of my past videos that I feel like it's kind of worthy enough to share on a impromptu live stream, right? So that's what I'm going to do right now. Share some comments, go over it, discuss it, and get you guys involved into the whole discussion. And of course, for sure, I'm going to drop the link if you guys want to hop up here and either challenge me or congratulate me or, add some input into the commentary or the comments, etc. So I'm going to drop the link actually right now for you guys. So it's there if you guys muster up the courage to hop up here. So I got a couple comments, like 5 in total, right? I'm not going to waste your guys' time, but I want to hop up here and blab my mouth and give you guys something to kind of discuss. So let's see what we got here. Shout out to Val, or Vale, however she wants to pronounce it. And yeah, so I saw she put this comment on one of my videos the other day. And this one's definitely worthy to discuss. Definitely worthy to discuss. So let's read it. Let's check it out. This is the AA social rule. AA African American, right? You say, quote unquote, I'm mixed. They hear, quote unquote, you just want to be white. Use a black to the whites, right? It's projecting their own fantasy because they wish they were white or half white. Exactly. What they wish and what they want is that proximity to whiteness. They're not the same as us. The blacks, the African Americans, they're not the same as mulattoes. They didn't grow up in a household, in an environment where the mulattoes, we grew up. I mean, for me, Thanksgiving dinner, surrounded by white family. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, surrounded by white family. New Year's, all of my holidays, right? All of my, school graduations, everything important going on, surrounded by my white family members. See, the blacks can't relate to you guys, the African Americans specifically. They do not have your shared experience and your shared history. They don't. They'll trick you and hoodwink you to make you think you're a part of them so they can use your ass. This is the message I'm trying to get across to people. A lot of you guys, you understand that. You already know what time it is. I'm nobody special. I'm just a messenger with a microphone in front of me. That's it. And I have lived experience. For my 30 plus years of experience, I have the experience and the expertise and knowledge base, if it even requires that, to speak on these matters. Like, I just have my own personal insight. They're not the same as you. They don't have your experience. Like, that's the thing. And when you deal with them, it's projection. You just want to be white. You say you're not a black. I don't look like you people. I don't know, like, what. Shout out to biracial awareness, because I just feel like the work he has done is just so prolific with his imagery he shared, that I've shared on this channel, my other channel, where it's like black, mulatto, white. Like, he lays it out so crystal clear and perfectly. The images that he shares, biracial awareness. He's all over social media. He has, all the social media pages. He has them all over the place. And I really love the work he's done, man. This guy just, he just in crystal clear imagery. And I've kind of done that. I've replicated that with some images I've shared where it's like, mulatto, black, right? I did that with like Tanashi, and then Sexy Red, because Sexy Red, she's red, so she's a light-skinned black, right? Not the same as a mulatto, okay? And I think I did that with like Barack Obama and Michael Jordan. And then I think I did that with, Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I'll probably end up doing more, but I'm giving credit to biracial awareness, because he basically is the first guy I seen. He has these images all over social media, and he rebuttals a lot of these people, these one-droppers who are trying to say, oh man, to the white man, you just the same as us. We're like, okay. That's fine. I mean, I'm not invested in what the whites think about me like you blacks. I'm just letting you know I'm not the same as you people. I'm not. We don't have. And so when you analyze, like, I really like this comment that Val, she's in the chat right now, what she put, because it's like, I'm not trying to be white. Like, I'm just embracing myself 150, 200%. Like, I like being me. I like being me. But to them, to former slaves who hate who they are, when they see you when they see you for you, who you like being who you are, they're kind of ashamed when they're in your presence. because they're ashamed as well, because they look at you and it's like, hey, I like the fact that I'm half black. I like my African heritage. I was so happy and honored to go to Ghana to connect with actually real, authentic blacks. It was like a very liberating moment for me personally, a spiritual journey. I was happy to be around these Ghanaian people. I was like, you guys give me pride and confidence as well. Like your energy, I'm absorbing it and I'm also giving it back. Like I was so happy. Like I want to go back whenever the opportunity presents itself. Like it's a world of difference when you go there in Ghana and you deal with your average, shithole, cesspool, Black American community here in America. It's just, it's a world of difference. You deal with people who like themselves versus people who don't like themselves. It's a world of difference. So when you're dealing with the projection, it's just out of this world. But we're the ones who are kind of when I say we're the ones, us mulattoes, we're kind of on the front lines of this for all intents and purposes, because we see this stuff every day, right? And I'm just one guy. When I get off work or out of the gym, whatever I'm doing, I hop my ass up here. Like, let me talk to you guys. Let me share what I see in this world. So it's projecting their own fantasy, exactly. And it's like, because I don't even think that they wish they were white. They just wish they were closer and better standing with white. So like you put half white, so meaning mulatto. Yeah. They wish they were kind of in our skin, so to speak. They wish they were in our image so they could be closer to their massa. Exactly. We are half white. That's the difference. They are like 5% white at most. Because one of their main Blackistan gaslighting tactics to try to hoodwink you, to get you back in line, so to speak, in Blackistan or underneath their influence, is to say we're all mixed, based all African Americans are mixed. I don't give a fuck what you people are mixed with. There is a world of difference between someone who's mulatto or a first generation biracial, is what they say, versus someone who's like an admixed black from their little slave master DNA they got, right? 10% at best. I mean, they're trying to basically blur the lines and muddy the waters and over exaggerate. They're trying to make it seem like most of these blacks in America got like 20% European DNA. Like, no, you don't. No, you people don't. Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, or what's it, Michael Jordan. None of these blacks, they don't got fucking 20% European. Tyrese or all these blacks, the baby. Most of these blacks don't got that much European DNA. It doesn't show. No, they're lying to your ass. Like at best, you can say on average they got probably like 10% at best. Nobody has the real numbers and stats to present. They just make up lies to trick your ass, to make it seem like, well, we're all mixed. I don't give a damn what the fuck you people are. You're not a mulatto, period. I'm drawing the line. I'm letting it be known because you want to play this game with us. And, I've been doing this for 2 years now. And I already knew right away when I saw this discussion being had and they try to, kind of mix in the mulattoes with everybody else. Look, we're all not the same. Okay. And I'm willing to be basically, negotiate, collaborate, build bridges. I try to be as diplomatic as possible. But some people, they overstep their boundaries. What they want to do is they want to muddy the waters and they want to try to maintain and contain mulattoes as their subordinate class to help out the fucking Bantus. That's not going to work with me. With a guy like me, it's not. With a guy like me, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work as long as I'm out here blabbing my mouth. It's not going to work. Let me continue on. You put, they get really offended and enraged if a mulatto does want to be white. It's only acceptable for them if mulattoes are begging to be in their community, black, exactly. Because then they feel like they have some power. They can be kind of the guardians or the gatekeepers, right, of blackness, right, which isn't worth anything. But yeah, that's when to them it's only acceptable. If a mulatto wants to be mulatto, you can't be mulatto. There's no such thing as a mulatto. I don't give a fuck what you savages say. I'm gonna tell your ass this. You can go cry to whites all you want. But then, right, if a mulatto wants to be white, they have an issue with that too. Okay. But they only like it when a mulatto wants to be black because they can punk your ass. Like a J. Cole. Okay. I like using J. Cole as an example because he set himself up in that position. And I first heard of J. Cole's track, I think it was called ATM or something. He was talking about getting money. This was several years ago. And I liked his raps, his lyrical flow. It's like, yeah, J. Cole's cool, whatever. But with this whole Drake situation, man, J. Cole positioned himself to be a fucking mark amongst the proud mulattoes out here. I'm telling you straight up. I'm one guy. I'm not special, but we've already documented this. And it's like, look, he's already positioned himself to be a fucking mark. If he wants to stay there and be down with the communita and represent, even though he got a white mama, okay, have fun, J. Cole. Have fun. There's plenty of you people out there like you. We see you. And yeah, we're documenting that. Okay. So yeah, the whole thing is that over here, we're proud to be mulatto. Period. Right. But to them, the opposition, the people who want to maintain you as a subordinate class, they only find it acceptable if you're trying to be like them. So they can mock you, laugh at you, and try to punk you. That's kind of where Drake kind of fucked up, to be honest with you. He was trying to act all hard and trying to act like they were trying to mock him for, going to Atlanta to try to get in tune with his kind of black side, black culture, so to speak. So they kind of tried to mock him and punk him for that, whatever. Yeah, lesson learned for Drake. He got his biracial wake-up call. Lesson learned for him. You say, quote unquote, I'm black. They say you ain't black, you privilege. Yeah. And that's the only influence and power they'll have over you, is this constant in-grouping and out-grouping, this gatekeeping of blackness, because they have no fucking power. So that's what they want to wield over you, is this influence of Blackistan, where they want to constantly push you out of their group, this tribalism that they exhibit, and then pull you back in when it benefits them politically. This is you're going to see the same thing with Kamala. They're going to use the same strategy and trickery with Kamala that they do with every one of you. At the micro level, at the macro level, every one of you, they're going to use the same strategy. They have nothing else. Remember, they serve and work for whites. All the Bantus, all the pro-whacks, Tariq Fradshi, Dr. Umar, every fucking pro-whack, they work for the whites. And they want to maintain mulattoes as their subordinate class to give them more political clout, because they know that these Latinos, these Asians and Arabics, they're competing for power in the United States and just geopolitically in the world in general, and that they are overstepping them. So they want to use you multiracials and mulattoes specifically to help them for numerical advantage and for political clout. Continuing on with the comment, she puts, they want us in their community when it benefits them as black people. Precisely, like I said, and it benefits them, political clout. At the same time, they don't want us getting any benefits from the white community for being half white. It's crabs in a barrel. We can take the example like a Zendaya. We can say like a Zendaya, all these people in the media, like a Doja Cat, like a Drake, all these high profile mulattoes in media, in entertainment, and politics. See, it's a crabs in a bucket. They don't want you getting any benefit from your white side. Zendaya is very palatable. Like her husband is what, Tom Holland, a white British actor. And I see a comment from Celine in the chat. Another example, a perfect, beautiful example, is Patrick Mahomes, who's the best quarterback in the world in American football, the NFL. He has a white wife, white kids for all intents and purposes. It's a mulatto man, Patrick Mahomes, and hit most of his fan base are white men, because majority of the fan base and supporters of the NFL are white males. So it's like, see, they get mad at him, right? At Patrick Mahomes. They feel like Patrick Mahomes doesn't owe them anything. He's just living his life. And we can go down the board of other examples as well, but this is a great example of Patrick Mahomes. It's the same scenario. Like, they don't want him to use his white heritage. I don't know how he's using it. It's like he's just who he is. He's an all-star quarterback. They get mad at him for simply existing. Like, he's supposed to benefit these blacks. I don't get it. Like, to me, I'm not around them like that to understand the kind of pathology, but I just do not get it. I do not get it. I don't get it. The crabs in the barrel. It's all it is. Right? They want you when it benefits them, but if you're not benefiting them, they whine and cry white supremacy. I just don't get it. I don't get it. They think we shouldn't get anything from whites for being half black because they don't get as much. You have to understand the race, right? Race, competition. They're competing with you in society. And a lot of mulattoes think that they're like on their team. Yeah, if you can benefit them. But once you're not useful, they're going to let you know. You're going to get your wake up call. A lot of you guys, you get it later than others. What I feel like, and I'm thankful for, is I feel like this younger, and not just only feel emotion, but what I know rationally in my mind is that this younger generation, they're getting their wake up call a lot sooner than the prior generations. Like, for a guy like me, I got my wake up call a few years back. I'll be honest, in my late 20s. I'm in my mid 30s now. But, few years, I would say, yeah, like 2019. So yeah, that's like, 5 years ago. I got my wake up call, I realized, oh shit, these are not my fucking people, man. They're going to do everything they can to use me. And I thought about this earlier today, man. I had a pretty good workout today. I got off work, went to the gym, did all my cardio stuff. And I knew I was going to have a stream tonight going over some of these comments. And I was just kind of brainstorming in my head, thinking about some stuff. And I was like, you know what it is, like when I analyze blacks around the planet, especially been to Ghana and then here in the United States of America, blacks, I know a lot of the whites, especially the white supremacists, they try to basically highlight the blacks for being violent. Oh, they're so violent, all this stuff. I'm like, nah, not really. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of blacks. Every ethnic or racial group is violent. But the blacks don't have a monopoly. They haven't capitalized on violence, not to the degree as the whites or the Anglos. We can get specific. I know a lot of the Anglos, in their propaganda, white nationalist incel circles, they try to present it that the blacks are just these violent savages and stuff like that. I was like, they kind of over exacerbate that. I don't feel like the blacks are as violent as a lot of people try to, present them to be compared to other groups, especially the Anglos. Like, they talk a lot, propaganda, and they could share their news, but we could, other people could share their news as well. I feel like with the blacks, what they're really good at is the scamming component. They are almost unbeaten when it comes to scamming and tricking people. Like, and you look at in West Africa, the Bantus, Nigeria, Ghana, whatever. Even here in the United States of America, I know, like, we see with the mulattoes, how they scam these fucking mulattoes to think that you're a part of their group. And these dark-skinned Bantus, they're dark-skinned supremacy, anti-light-skinned man. They are scamming you motherfuckers to the T. I mean, I thought of this earlier when I was working out. I was laughing. Like, they are so good at scamming you motherfuckers, man. I mean, that's what they're really good at. It's not the violence component, because militarily, they are conquered around the globe. They cannot build the technology, the infrastructure. They are completely fucking conquered by these other races of men. But what they're really good at is tricking you people, is scamming you, making you think you're a part of their group, making you think you're a part of their family. That's what they're really good at. They're really, really good at scamming you motherfuckers, man. I thought of this earlier. I was just like, this is what it is. They don't have a monopoly on the violence component. That's the Anglos. Remember, and the Anglos, sadly, today, they're, yeah. You look at what the state of Israel and all this stuff. Yeah, they're basically weaponized to do the bidding of other groups. let's continue on with this. They want us in their community when it benefits them as black people. At the same time, they don't want us getting any benefits from the white community or being half white. It's crabs in a barrel. They think we shouldn't get anything from whites for being half black because they don't get as much. And I already just read that. Let me continue on. I noticed all of this because most AAs, African Americans, don't think I'm half black. And she's saying her personal testimony because she's not like black presenting, right? They're much nicer when they think I'm another race. Yeah, and what that is, because you have to understand, if you're mulatto, you're biracial, whatever, half black, the blacks hate blacks. The tribalism, like, they don't hate you because you're half white. They hate you because you're half black, because they hate themselves. That, you have to understand that clearly. Because with this whole mixed race stuff, even with the whites, the Anglos, they're not against the Latinos who are half Mexican, half white. They're not against the Hapas who are half Asian, half white. They only have an issue with the mulattoes. We can examine the Anglos. It's the same political strategy. Same with the blacks. The blacks don't say shit about the Hapas or the Mexicans who are half white or whatever configuration. They only have an issue when you're half black, specifically and half white. I feel like the Afro Latinos or the Blasians, they don't get as much smoke as the mulattoes. That's why I'm ultra specific over here. I'm trying to get these mulattoes to wake the fuck up and smell the coffee, realize, hey, people are positioning you to be a political target. If they can't use you and benefit off of you, they want to maneuver you into a position to where they can put their heel on your neck. I mean, this is what we see. I mean, this whole Drake situation, if you don't get it, but with the whole Drake thing, if they do that to Drake, they're going to do it to anybody, any of you. Drake is just a symbolic representation of a mulatto who dares to be great amongst them in their group. With all the false allegations and all the other BS, it doesn't matter. Drake is not special. He's not the best rapper. I mean, in a way, he dominates the industry, the rap music, the charts, because he has a big pull, palatable. He's not, but it's like Drake is just a guy, but he's a mulatto who dares to be great. They want to humble him. And it's because he's competing with other blacks. See, the reason why these blacks supported Barack Obama, another mulatto, because he was competing in the white dominated field. Every president of the United States of America has been a white male up until Barack Obama, who has a black father and a white mother. Then you see, then the black supported him. Also because he's neutralized. He's a neutralized mulatto because he's married to a black female. Thereby his offspring have been absorbed into the black body politic. They can use this, little language, grift or whatever, just to black, okay? So this is what it is. I know it's all because you say they're much nicer when they think I'm another race. Once I tell them that you're black, they treat me differently and seem to get upset that I have black DNA and I don't have to walk around black like they do. Most AAs hate being black deep down. Exactly. I agree with her 100%. Most of them do. They try to pretend and cover it up and hide it up. And I know as well. You deal with these people at work or wherever you're at, they hate themselves. That's why they're calling themselves Indians now. They're calling themselves indigenous. They're calling themselves Hebrew Israelites and all this other shit. They hate themselves. Like, they come up with all these little fancy terms. Like, no, you're a black. Like, you identify as black. You identify with these people. That's your people. Like, why? Like, the new terms you create for yourselves, like, because the whole thing with mulatto, it's not a new term, baby. It's not a new term. It's been around before the concept of whiteness, before the concept of blackness. The term mulatto has been used. So you can't pull that game with me over here. Okay. But we examine you and your people in your community. Yeah, you're calling yourselves indigenous and Moors and Hebrew Israelites and all this other shit. Yeah, no, you're black. And why do you want to call yourself something else than what you are, what you represent? Like, the whole world looks at you, they know what you are. See, that's the difference between you and a mulatto. When they look at a guy like me, they don't know what the fuck I am. People talking to me Spanish, I'm over in Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic. A lot of people think I was Dominican. They're talking to me in Spanish, like, and I'm in Africa, in Ghana. People think I'm white or something. Here in the United States of America, people think I'm Puerto Rican or Brazilian or so, like, I'm not like you people. We don't have the same experience. This is what I'm trying to let the public know. And a lot of my audience, especially the mulattoes who listen to me, they understand. They know. They know. And yeah, most wish they could wash their blackness away. And that's what the whole labels and terminology, right? If they just call themselves an indigenous, we're not going to look at them like they're just an African with some feathers in their head. That's all it is. Like, I see the, like, I see these people like you're just a Bantu with some Native American headdress on. You're just a Bantu, an African trying to dress up like you're an Indian. Like, you're still black. I don't understand. Like, you're not going to wash it away. They think it solves all their problems. It's not. It's their culture. The culture is the main thing. It's this primitive, proud victim culture. That's it. This savagery. And like I said earlier, this scamming, where they think it's acceptable to scam people and lie. And like I said, I give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't have a monopoly or capitalizing on violence. The Anglos got that. All the Call of Duty, the shoot 'em up, and the military industrial complex. The Anglos pride themselves on the violence and capitalizing on the, we would call, like, just being very martial, being very war ready and fighting and combat. They have that in the bag, right? And, they're serving the Pope and other influences. But so the blacks, they brag in all their little stupid hip hop songs and gangster rap and all that shit. But it's the scamming component is what the Bantus dominate. It's the scam. And they're hoodwinking you mulattoes, a lot of you, effectively, is what I see. So, and that's part of the cultural component. That's their problem. They could wash the blackness away. It doesn't matter. Like, you're just gonna be a light-skinned fucking Bantu. There's a guy, he has a channel. He calls himself light-skinned Bantu, but it's this the culture thing. The culture where there's just a scamming, being a proud victim, just scamming people, trying to hoodwink mulattoes, thinking we're all the same. We're not. I'm not. The ones who do, I know I went back and forth a little bit earlier before work, and they ended up blocking me because they are a bunch of Fruit Loops, okay? Because that's what you find. The black identified mulattoes, if they're not in the hood booger shit, they're a bunch of fucking fruitcakes, okay? Serving the Bantus, and they're not going to have a logical discussion. They're, good, block me. Good. Either I'm going to block you or you're going to block me, but yeah, there's nothing else to say, to be honest with you. With some of these characters, because, it's a conflict of interest. Yeah, they think that it's going to solve all their problems. Meanwhile, it's their own family that causes them the most harm. What about these 75+% illegitimacy rates? Is that the white man's fault? Is that institutional racism's fault? For why? You look at the degeneracy with all this, promotion of just, fornication, bastard kids all over the place. You have your bastard kids, but you don't even get married first. You have your little bastard kids before you get married. And we're sitting there like, whose fault is that? With Sexy Red and Tariq Fraud Sheeds scamming everybody, that's the white man's fault. They got to blame somebody, right? It's the culture, right? And it's their own family, or people within their own family who do them dirty. But it's the scamming component. It's just the scamming culture. We're just scamming everybody. And I'm trying to tell these mulattoes, stop getting fucking scammed by them. Make sure they pay you up front. You need a payment up front from them. They need to pay you. They owe you money. I'm trying to tell people, like, look, if you deal with them, that's fine. You're cool, you're friends, whatever, that's fine. They owe you money. They need to pay you. I'm going to continue to say this. You can clip that. That's fine. They need to pay you. They owe you money. They want something from you. They owe you money. You need to be a better negotiator with them, period. It's manipulative. We are mulatto. End of story. And this is why, this is one of my favorite people over here. It's just, we're mulatto. End of story. All this manipulation, this crabs in a bucket, Bantu pathology. Look, we're mulatto. You're black. That's good. Okay. We can come to terms. We can negotiate, have some type of business agreement. That's fine. But we need to do that with everybody, not just them, with every other group. But the idea where they want to play this trickery, like we're in the same group as them, and if you guys want to play that, that's fine. You can do that over there. But it's funny because they end up finding me, like I said, on Twitter, where these little Fruit Loops, they end up blocking me. They found a comment that I put somewhere and like replied with some videos and crap, and I just laughed. I put some comments. They didn't like what I had to say because I'm not a usual character they're going to run into. I'm very unique, and I pride myself in my uniqueness. I'll say that. So they probably weren't used to me, a guy like me. They thought they could pull the same Blackistan bullshit. That's your white half coming out and this and that, or you're confused, or you need to heal. All the typical savage responses. And when I hit them back with my mulatto responses, they ain't got nothing to say. If they can't cry to their white massa to fucking censor me, they'll just end up blocking me. Cool. I would have probably ended up blocking your ass anyways. Fuck out of here. You people don't run the narrative. They've been used to that. See, the past 30 years, they're still bringing up stuff about this light skin shit from the 80s or something. Like, bro, I'm a 90s baby. Like, I didn't experience any of that stuff in the 80s. So people still talk about this like 80s stuff about, oh man, you light skinned niggas, you had it good in the 80s. It's us darkies. It's our time to shine. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you people are talking about. I'm not from that 80s shit where just quote unquote the light skins had it good. Now the darkies are fucking shining. I don't deal with you people like that. Okay. And these little trends you got going on. But they try to position it like that. Like that the light skins had some heyday. So now that the blacks have free range to hate on you fucking light skinned man. I'm like, and you know what it is? See, because the light skinned man, you identify with black. So, okay, have fun. See, the mulattoes over here, we're different. The mulattoes we don't identify with blacks. So that's what we have to continuously nail that in people's head and draw that clear line of distinction. You're going to get your feelings hurt. There's going to be people, they're going to get their feelings hurt. That's fine. They can cry and complain to their white massa. We're still going to blab our mouth and march on over here. That's how it works. Let me finish this comment off. And she puts here, yeah, I've heard mulattoes say they were biracial. And the black person's response is biracial isn't a race. Well, biracial is two races. The reason why I stress mulatto, because mulatto is the unification entity. It's the symbol, the marker of unification between European race and African race combined into one, making mulatto. An independent race, independent from black and white, that is and can be, historically has been, self-sustaining. Unfortunately, in the United States of America, we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled into being thrown into the black category. But when I look at these Cubans, these Cubanos, these mulattoes in Cuba, They've had existing mulatto communities for centuries. Same thing with the Dominican Republic. Same thing in Puerto Rico. Same thing in Brazil and all these other nations. Cape Verde, South Africa, etc. These non-Anglo, non-English colonies. They've had these mulatto societies. It's when you deal with these English speaking people, in these Western nations, where there's a political fear of the mulatto being a competitive group. So they've weaponized these blacks to neutralize mulattoes, throwing us underneath the blacks so they can try to maintain us as a subordinate class. Newsflash, it hasn't worked out. We're out here blabbing our mouth cockier than fucking ever. It hasn't worked out. Okay. Your plan has failed miserably, and I'm here to tell you that. And of course, so this whole idea of biracial isn't a race, no such thing as biracial. And I share all these like sources where it's like, you check biracial on, your government applications, your job applications, even the media. Major media is literally telling you you're biracial or mixed race. So I saw on a major media outlet on NBC or one of these media, and even Kamala Harris. That's one reason why I'm very thankful Kamala Harris is in the spotlight, because she's a multiracial woman. So now the discussion of being mixed race is at the national level, across the country, across the globe. People are witnessing, looking, and analyzing mixed race Americans. And I like that. It's an opportunity for us. We have to seize this opportunity. Even though Kamala Harris, it's a political trickery, the fact that she's there in that position, there's an opportunity that presents itself to us. And we have to be ones who seek out these opportunities and use it to benefit us. And yeah. And then she puts here, yes, we know biracial is two races. Yes, they just say it's not a race. It's very caveman, illogical thinking. There isn't much evolution. It's quote unquote, you gotta be black like me. If my white God don't like me, they can't like you either. And quote, right? Yeah. Little slave talk. No such thing as biracial, even though on the job applications in the census, you can check multiracial on two races. There's no such thing as that, because my white master, you deal with these scammers, these Bantu fucking scammers. I mean, and I like the Al Show's approach, the Al Show, because his whole thing was, look, don't even really deal with these people as far as like mulatto affairs or biracial affairs, or because they don't have your vested interest. These specific kind of troublemakers, if I can say that, these monoracials, like especially if they're black, they're Bantu, they don't have your best interest at heart. Okay, their whole thing is they want to keep you in their group, maintain you as a subordinate class, period. So they're always going to muddy the waters. They're going to play, mind games, Blackistan mind games and trickery. They want to keep you under their influence. They want to fool you and make you think you don't have an option out here. You just got to check black and be with the blacks and help their ass out while they're sucking butt, kissing white ass. I mean, I see it every fucking day, every day. Even like the more mature I am now, it's just right in the open. Like people will say like you're working in secret, or like, oh, the mulattoes are working in secret with the whites against the blacks. But it's funny because I look around me, I'm seeing the blacks work in the open with the whites against the mulattoes. Imagine that. How many mulattoes are calling a spade, using their social media to put this information out here? Not that many. Not that many. Barely any, if I can say that. How many mulattoes are, especially if they got some numbers and some social media clout, forget about it. Most of their audience are a bunch of blacks caping for them. They want to get their little coin. Hey, have fun. With Ice Spice and the rest of the fucking grifters, right? It's funny because look at Ice Spice. Now she's got some darky fucking hating on her ass. Typical, that's how it works. Doja Cat, Drake, even, what's her name? Miss Mulata, same shit happened to her. That's how it works with you people. You people don't, You people think you're smarter than everybody. You can just dance around. You're going to make your coin off them. Eventually, you get enough shine. They're going to turn on your ass. They're going to get jealous of you. They're going to fucking turn on you. I mean, I see it. The guys like J. Cole, like I said before, who is J. Cole? He's got more money than me. Oh, he taller than you, Mulatto Vanguard. He more handsome. He get more bitches than you. Okay, yeah, good for him. That's cool. That's a metric he's measuring himself off of. But what about legacy wise? For singing a couple raps, talking shit, like singing some raps. He's another rapper with the other million, thousands of rappers. But where does he measure it up on the chart? The dark skins of Bantus, they'll never put him above them. They'll just give him a little comfortable spot. And that's what I'm thinking to myself, like, why don't these guys create their own lane where they can be the number one in their own spot? Like, why do you want to join these other groups? Like, and they're gonna make you be like the sidekick or like the Robin, Batman and Robin. They're gonna make you be like the number two guy. I don't get, Drake talked about that in his song Family Matters. I'm gonna do a stream tomorrow because Angry Man, got into this. I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow. I'm gonna be live again tomorrow, where it's just like he in his song he talked about how, like, with J. Cole, how the Bantus tried to position J. Cole to be this subordinate punk. Where J. Cole is a very good lyricist. His rhymes, it connects. He's really good. He's a really good rapper, but he's not living up to his full potential. Something's holding him back. Is because he wants that acceptance from the Bantus. That's what's always holding these mulattoes back from their greatness, because they want Bantu acceptance. They don't want to live up to their true potential. Very unfortunate. Said there's a reason why they don't bring up whites in almost every conversations with themselves and us. There's a reason why they bring up whites. I think I said they don't. They bring up whites in every conversation with themselves and us. They will make up delusional lies about your parents brainwashing you. Exactly. Yeah, I appreciate that, because I see a lot of that from the blacks over on TikTok. Oh man, these whites, they raised you to hate your black side, or it's like some weird shit. And I've already publicly said where I'm very thankful for my mom, like growing up. Like, I've had black Santa Claus in my house, and like I've had images of black people being in the same position as white people. Like I said, Santa Claus or Black Jesus, like images like that. I'm trying to think way back now to my childhood. But yeah, that was very crucial. Seeing that as a child, being mulatto, and my white mother, having images in the household where blacks were basically in equal status with whites, like as far as the religion and the national holidays, etc. So, but yeah, a lot of these blacks, these Bantu, scam artists, they'll try to position it where, oh, your white parents, they brainwashed you. They brainwashed you, right? And these dumb savages on the internet want to act like they know more about you and your family. It's like, dude, most of you guys, like, illegitimate households, you have no authority to say anything, right? Right? They say they'll make up delusional lies, straight up delusional lies about your parents brainwashing you. Another thing with that, Val, is is they'll get it all wrong. They'll try to sit there and say, "Oh, you must have a white dad to say this," or "I know you got a white mom." See, they try to play that game with all you people. you know, they say that with me. I can't tell you how many comments I share it with you, Val. I sent you messages where they're sitting there like, "Oh man, I know you got a white daddy. You must have a white dad." You're talking all this shit about these blacks. I'm not talking no shit. I mean, I might be talking a little shit, but I'm challenging you savages. You think I'm gonna sit here and let you fucking punk me? I'm not a light-skinned black. Okay, I'm only light-skinned around you fucking people. Everybody else out here, my skin tone matches everybody else. These East Indians are darker than me. A lot of these Asians, Vietnamese, China, they're just as dark as me. A lot of these Latinos, they're just as dark as me. It's only you fucking blacks that I'm a light skin. Okay. So I don't do the whole light skin stuff. Look, that's the blacks. They do that. The mulattoes were doing something different. Okay. And there's some congruency there where there's some overlap. We can identify with some things. I appreciate what some of them are doing, but let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it fucked up. I don't serve the Bantus. All right. I'm going to let you people know. I might hurt some feelings, but you're going to realize that. And like you continue on, you put most AAs function on conspiracy theories and pseudoscience. Unfortunately, they lack any type of self-awareness, so they aren't ashamed over the right things. They are ashamed of being black when they should be ashamed of saying stupid things repeatedly. Exactly. And what I love, what I'm doing here, my passion is because I'm documenting all this stuff, right? With the comments, with the, all the engagement and the things that I see, like I'm documenting it. And what I want is to have this catalog of videos, of information, reliable, credible information that mulattoes can have access to. So even right now, it's like, I don't give a damn. I'm just living my life. But years down the line, say a couple years, 5 years, maybe even a decade, some mulatto who's, will stumble upon this video, this information will be like, damn, this guy is speaking my language. He's saying everything I felt and a lot of you guys don't realize there's other people out here just like you. We just don't know it yet. This is why this tool, this social media, is allowing us to connect with one another. Very powerful tool, I might add. But this is what we see here. Yeah. But she was using typical lines, mulattoes raised by whites. Let me put here, I had a black identified mulatto tell me my white family convinced me I was better. Well, you are better. Because the thing is, you have to challenge these people. Because they'll sit there and tell you their melanin's popping, that they're pure blooded, they're dark skinned black Bantus, that they're pure. They'll tell you they're better than you because you're a half breed. These savages will tell you that. And you're like, well, no, I'm better than you. I'm mixed. I'm better. And then they cry and whine about that. Like, how is it like, why do you guys accept that? Why do you accept them telling you they're better than you? You need to tell them, see, this is how you compete. And this is race. See, the Bantus only like racism when it benefits them, when they can be a racist towards the mulattoes. But when you push it back on their ass, then they whine and cry, right? Which is pretty funny considering I've never spent a single day my white family besides my dad. Yeah. Yeah. Renata Mulata is here. You put they're waiting for the opportunity to portray you as a mulatto. It was in their head for the moment they saw you. That's all it is. Like they're waiting for an opportunity to betray you and scam you. And I'm at an age now, I've matured enough to understand this is the game. And what they really hate and they despise about you is when they see you and you're confident in who you are. And I told somebody this, I'm not going to give out a lot of details, but today I had an incident with an individual who said some stupid crap. I was at work. He said something about hook a brother up or something like that. And I was like, man, you got me fucked up. First off, I'm not your brother. Like I had to check his ass. Later on, he was with his little dark-skinned Bantu buddy, and I said some shit, because we're at war out here. And I let him know straight up, you're gonna get shit fucked up with me. Let me know, trying to get this illusion that we're brothers, and no, I'm not on your team. You're not my fucking people. You're not paying me, giving me anything. I'm not dealing with you like that. Right. And a lot of feelings are going to get hurt, but you gotta be very firm and assertive with them, because a lot of these savages, they feel like you belong to them. They can just punk you. And how they do that is they hoodwink you with this whole light skin shit. They say, well, you're just a mixed and light skin, but you're still seen as a black. So, you're still a part of my group. I'm like, okay, you think that. But when I get the best out of you and you don't get your results, I don't want to see you cry, because I let you know straight up front what the dealio is. Okay, I'm not working in trickery and scamming like a lot of you cats. But like everything you say right here, like I just read your comment. We're live right now, and you just put this new comment where it's like they're waiting for the opportunity, literally. And you know this. You're around my age. I think you're a couple years older than me. So like the maturity you have, you understand this. Like they're like literally seething, foaming at the mouth, waiting for the opportunity to scam a mulatto and betray you. And a lot of mulattoes, because we don't have this community structure, we don't have this think tank, this network operating out here where we can pass on this information to get people educated and aware. Like you have to look for these pitfalls and these trick bags and these basically these booby traps that are established along the way, that not only the whites but the blacks that they set up for you to basically to fall on. We gotta wake a lot of these mulattoes up if they seek the information. I'm not trying to shove anything down anybody's throat. Shit, I push people away over here. I'm like, fuck you. I don't want you to listen. Unsubscribe. Don't like my video. I tell people to like my video, right? I tell people don't watch it. If you don't like me, don't watch. Unsubscribe. People still watch my shit. I got a lot of haters that watch my shit. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to be social media famous out here. I don't give a fuck. None of this stuff is monetized. I can monetize this right now. I got a lot of content that I got to remove because it's reused content. YouTube is super strict on that. But it's like, I'm not really making a coin off this shit. It's the community. I have people engaged in this. I have, like, in the stories that people are sharing with me, like there's a lady in chat, older lady, universal education systems, like the stories that she shared with me behind the scenes. It's like, this is the motivation I have to come up here, is I want to give you people a voice. We have a voice now. We have people consolidating. We have cohesion, and we're sharing stories. This is the essence, the building block of a community. We're sharing stories we can relate to, we can network with, we can build something from that. This is what it is. So you put here, they bait Latin and Asian to acknowledge their African roots. Yeah, Asians don't have African roots. They're going to try to trick the Filipinos and all this other dumb crap. No. Some of the Latins do. A lot of them don't. They don't have any African roots. Okay. Black Americans siding with Africans to bait you guys. Yeah. It's not working, to be honest with you. With me, with a guy like me, it's not working. You have the dumbass mulattoes who are mostly leftists, and a lot of them are, sexually confused. They're the ones who fall for that crap. Chris RS7 says, you notice how black people want Dominicans and Puerto Ricans to identify as black, but not Africans from actual Africa? Yeah, that's because the black Americans hate themselves. Like, it's no secret. The slavery has done a number on them. They're basically a prisoner in a society that hates them. So the slavery has done a number on them. Yeah, so they want to convince all the mixed people and non-black people to identify as black because they want sexual access to you. Now, it's mainly the males who want the access to the females, but the males of these groups get kind of left out in the shadows, if I can say that. The biracial males, the Puerto Rican male, the Latino males, see, they get kind of pushed out, but they mainly want the women to identify as black so they can have access to it. And black women don't like that. That's why black women whine and cry colorism 24/7 all over social media. It's desirability politics. They're crying and complaining because they want their dark-skinned Bantu lovers to prefer them, their dark-skinned rear end, over the Latinas and other light-skinned women, right? So that's all it is. Like, they don't, as far as like they want the Dominicans or Puerto Ricans or mixed people to identify, they don't give a shit about a guy like me. They really don't. What they're upset about me, because they know I'm very cocky and fucking bold and assertive. They know with a guy like me, I'm attracting mixed women to my platforms, all of my social media. All of my social media, it's a lot of the mulatto women who support my shit more than the men. It's the men who are fucking like, there's a lot of competition. So it's a lot of the women who support me. And then the dark skinned Bantus, they see that. So they're upset because they know when they have a masculine guy who's talking his shit, trying to build something, women are naturally going to gravitate towards that. So they have a vested interest in trying to humble me because they want access to the women, the mixed women. That's all it is. They don't give a fuck about me. They just know that there's women who are going to follow me, or I say follow, quote unquote, supporters, subscribers, whatever you want to say. But people who are vibing with the message, that's really what they're after, that audience, so to speak. They don't give a damn. I'm nobody special, right? I just got some balls, and they know that's really, in a lot of cases, that's all it takes. But it's the same situation with the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and these other Latino groups, where they want to push the men out the way so they can get access to the women, so they can bastardize the women, because that's how they feel like they can compete with other males of other groups, right? They can't compete with whites, so they want to bastardize the white group. This is it. They can compete with the whites in a football field. Okay, yeah. But most of the owners of the football teams are white. Most of the coaches are white. Most of the quarterbacks are white. Most of the companies that produce the jerseys, all of the companies that produce the jerseys, the NFL equipment, are white. All the people who do the media production for the NFL are white. Like the whites have the whole market on lock. And these blacks think that they're like dominating shit because they're dancing around in some tights on a football field. But the whites control the entire enterprise. So, they let them think they're special. Let's continue on what we got here. Mulatto people who identify as black be the most annoying too. They try to overcompensate to prove their blackness to dark skins. Yeah, and they got a lot of dark skin support. Yeah, because the dark skins, they need them. They know, like, I saw that earlier today on Twitter TikTok before all those idiots like kind of blocked me. Like, that's what it is. Like, yeah, man, it's so insane. You see this mulatto, and then they got a bunch of blacks who are supporting them in the background. It's just, yeah, I've been doing this for a minute now. I kind of already understand the game. Not kind of, I do. I get it. That black identified mulatto, you bet your bottom dollar they're going to have an army of Bantus that will support them. But that's no match for me, a guy like me. Little old me. That's no match. It says black people, especially African Americans, have extreme inferiority complex. And partially what that is for the historical legacy of slavery. It's really, but the issue is with them is that's their whole identity, is being victims to white people, being slaves, being victims. They call themselves slaves today. They're calling themselves American descendants of slaves, ADOS. Like, they think there's some honor in that, calling themselves a fucking slave descendant. The Chinese don't say, I understand it's a part of the black history in America. I get that. But mulatto is not a slave term. Mulatto is a term that was developed with contact from African tribes and nations with European tribes and nations. And was there slavery involved, political sense? Yes. But in most cases that I've seen, the mulattoes were not in a slave position. Chevalier was not a slave. Even in the Gold Coast in West Africa, most of these Euro-Africans were not slaves. They had higher status. So yeah, the whole inferiority complex component is with them is because they're the legacy of slavery, which they've never gotten over. That's their whole identity, right? They feel like they still are owed something in society because of that, because they're shamed. Every other group in society laughs at them, right, for being at the bottom. And my whole thing is, look, they need, because they want to use mulattoes to make themselves feel better for being at the bottom. And I'm sitting there like, why do you mulattoes put up with this shit? Like, you're better. You can outperform them, overachieve them. I don't understand. Like, what do you like? They think it's virtuous or something to give up their own sovereignty and autonomy to help someone else out less fortunate, but they're banking off that. They're manipulating you and using the fact that you feel sorry for them to their own advantage. They're very good at scamming. Like I said, I came to that kind of epiphany earlier today when I was working out. I was like, okay, the Anglos got the whole, military and combat concept on cue, right? They're taking over nations, dominating people. Like they got the violence component on lock. But the Bantus, they got the scamming component on lock. Like they're really good at tricking people, especially you mulattoes. It's very sad to see, to be honest with you. They're making you feel sorry for them while they use your ass in the whole process. Very unfortunate. Who'd want their hair when that's all they complain about? How hard is it to do and have and blah, blah, blah. I told a black woman I preferred my hair texture. She lashed out and said, I can tell your mom's white. I'm blocking you. Why is that so offensive? Because they'd want us to hate ourselves so they feel better. That's all it is, right? They want you to hate yourself the way they hate themselves. Like that's my whole thing is, yeah. If you deal with them on that level, just make sure they pay you. Like it doesn't make sense, or just block them, move on. Use them for content as I do. But yeah, clearly they hate themselves. I mean, the way they respond to mulattoes with the anti-biracial hate, like what they're doing with Drake, right? All the racism and hate they're giving towards Drake. Like the blacks in America have really exposed their racism. So I don't understand why they cry racism when they are the biggest racist in America. Like, well, look what they're doing to Drake. If you haven't realized this yet, I don't, you're behind the curve. I don't get it. And a lot of mulattoes are basically pathetic and cannon fodder for these savages. It's very despicable to see this. And then they want to drag me into all this. No. No, I'm not doing it. I'll be the bad guy. That's fine. You're not punking me out here like that. If I'm black, why would I want to only put my seed with an African decent type when I want something different? These same people who get mad when mixed people don't identify as black, get mad when mixed race people are put in front of the line of black community. They're never happy because they want that ability to basically pick and choose when to claim mixed people as black when it benefits them, right? They whine and cry like bitches when Zendaya is represented as a black woman. She's not black. It's dark skin erasure, right? A lot of dark skins will whine and cry. The women, then Zendaya, the males don't cry about Zendaya. It's just the dark women. They whine and cry like bitches for Zendaya. But yeah, they cry when she's represented as a black woman. But at the same time, if Zendaya or just say Meghan Markle, if Meghan Markle's like, well, I'm a biracial, I'm not a black woman, they whine and cry. So it's like you can't win. You deal with them. Like I'm saying, like at least they got to either entertain you, give you some content, or they got to pay you. They got to give you something because you're not going to win dealing with like I've been doing this for 2 years and these conversations have become very circular and I've honestly gotten bored of it. Some of the material, some of the commentary I'm giving you tonight is similar to what I've said a year ago. I get that. I just have new people tuning in and stuff like that, kind of catching people up on stuff. But I want to grow with this message and what I'm doing. That's why you're starting to see me dabble more into the whole white nationalist incel angle because we got to address that. If all the other pussy ass mulattoes aren't going to say anything about that, I'll be the one to say it. And I'm going to catch the arrows. Everyone knows who I am. I'm going to be the bad guy. But we got to say it. We got to let people know what's going on. But these discussions talking with these blacks, like it's very circular. Like, they got to give us something to deal with them at this point because we get it. They want to pick and choose when we're black, when it benefits them. And I'm like one guy, like it's not working out for me. Like there was a lady, she did a video on TikTok and I shared her clip over on my YouTube channel. And it's a young mulatto woman. And I really love the way she, eloquently explained herself, where to me, it's the same way. It's like the picking and choosing is just not working for me. It's not working, like, because they're exhibiting power and influence over you. When they want to decide one day you're black, the next day you're not. I'm like, these savages cannot wield power over you. I do not accept that. I'm going to have to fight. I'm going to have to fight. Just period. I'll be the bad guy. I'm going to fight. I will not allow these savages to act like they have that influence over me. Period. They can cry to whites and do whatever they want to. I'm going to fight. Yeah, nobody's going to tell me who or what I am. I'm going to look at your ass in the eye and let you know who and what I am. And I'm just one guy, but there's going to be more after me who realize that. You put here, it's funny too, because black men will claim mixed race women as black as long as they sleep with black men. But once you don't give them the time of day, they say you're not black. Yeah, that's how the game works. We all know that. Yeah. And like they want to conquer a lot of these women and then, make them baby mamas. And once that happens, they're basically tainted. Other races of men will view them as undesirable. We're looking at them as less than. It's kind of gross. It's kind of gross, but a lot of these individuals, they set themselves up like that. They want to be accepted by the dark skins. You got a mulatto, the white mama, black daddy. She never knew her black daddy. Her black daddy was never around. So she wanted to feel connected to black people. She felt like the best way to do that was by having a bastard kid by a dark-skinned black guy. She got her wish. Now she's a single mom struggling to pay the bills. And it's very disgusting and despicable. But we see that cycle being replicated all over the place. I'm not a fan of it at all. Okay. Yeah, but that's not going to help them. No matter how many mulattoes identify as black, those black people still look like they look. Yeah, they're black. There's a difference between a mulatto and a black. World of difference. They want mixed people to identify as black because they know we are seen as desirable. Exactly. Vin Diesel, Patrick Mahomes, all these athletes and, entertainers and across the board, right? Yeah. What else is there to say? Yeah, we are seen as more desirable than them. I see it today, even like every day, man, my job. And I see it because there's a ton of mulattoes. That's why I'm very thankful for what I'm doing. When I fucking log out of here, I don't give a shit. This is, YouTube, the internet, social media, whatever. But what I'm doing in the real world, the impact, I mean, this is all real world stuff, application, but what I'm doing off the internet, hands to hands, kind of in person, I'm very thankful for the opportunity because, I'm looking at the future, and I see the future, and I'm like, yeah, we compare the dark skin, black Bantu, and then the mulatto, and it's like, yeah, we're always going to be more desirable than them. It's always been that way, and people don't like you saying that. You're a colorist, okay, that's fine. You can kiss my ass. You're a racist, okay, that's fine. You can kiss my ass. But like your little words don't mean anything because the real racist are you dark-skinned black Bantus. The real colorist are you dark-skinned black Bantus. All your little light-skinned jokes and Drake is light-skinned and he's weak and sassy. Yeah, we've been analyzing you people. We've been taking notes on you people. Yeah, we got the receipts on you people. So who are you going to cry to the whites, the same whites you work for? Who are you going to cry? You're going to tell the whites, oh, this mulatto, he's getting uppity. Yeah, that's how you've always been. You don't think we know? That's how you always been. Well, what? When we develop our own enterprises, our own networks, which we're doing right now as I'm speaking to you guys, all their efforts are ineffective. Exactly. They only want people to view them as attractive and desirable to identify with them. Yeah. That's like telling, let me see, let me go up with your comment. I saw a video about her where a black woman was saying she thinks she's better, which is weird because all she said was she's mixed. So clearly a black woman believes she's better in her own. Yeah, crazy shit. Let me go back up to some of these comments and work my way down a bit. Catch up. These small percentages means the last time they had a white ancestor is 1700s. Yeah, like if they got like 10%, most of them you deal with. They're trying to over exacerbate, right? Exaggerate this, like, oh, most of the black Americans got like 20%. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you people have. I tell them straight up because I see a lot of these comments on TikTok. I don't give a fuck what you savages. You're not the same as me. And some of these pussy ass little Fruit Loop leftist liberal mulattoes, they can pretend like they're all the same, you know. I don't care. You don't like my language, my delivery, unsubscribe, don't listen. Guess what? You people are still subscribed, or even if you're not subscribed, you hoes still listen. I can't get you people to fuck up out of here. You still watch all my shit and troll and all this crap. What? I'm calling a spade a spade. Like, no, there's a world of difference between having your little minimal, slave master admixture versus a straight up mulatto who's like 40, 60% European. There's a whole world of difference. And even culturally wise, we're not the same. Yeah, and they want to muddy the waters to try to hoodwink you, to punk you so you stay in their group where they can punk you and benefit off you, where they have the numbers and advantages. That's what it's always been about. And unfortunately, they've weaponized the light skins to basically try to corral you and kowtow you back into their group. And this is unfortunate, but this is I've seen this from day one. Since I've been involved in this discussion, this is why I was straight up like mulatto from the beginning. That I kind of danced around with the whole little golden shit and these ambiguous words, but straight like from the beginning, I always knew, okay, mulatto, because I saw what was going on. Most of these people in that discussion, even today, you look at these, mixed race, biracial circles or spaces, whatever platform they're on, black identified, right? And there's a lot of wiggle room. They have a lot of wiggle room, a lot of ambiguity. In that wiggle room and ambiguity, that space they have open, it allows people to come in there and blur the lines and pull you back in to serve. And I'm just, nah. What's your agenda? What's your agenda? Instead of serving these other groups and their agenda, what's your agenda? Has one been laid out? I hear about these petitions. The same people that I swear to fucking God, the same people who come to me and propose a petition for protections that I've seen from day one. I've seen these people talk about a petition, golden or light skin or biracial, whatever the fuck they are. The same exact people talking about a petition. They are the most black identified people you will ever meet. Period. That's why this whole petition talk, they want protections from the same people that they fight for and identify with, and they act just like these fucking savages. They want to get all violent and get all uppity. I had one fucking idiot who's talk about, oh, you want to box me or something? You can catch this fade. And this fucking animal was sitting there talking to, like, he messaged me talking about like a petition or something. We can be recognized by the United Nations and we can get a petition. I'm like, a petition for what? Like, you act just like those fucking savages. You need to stay your ass over there with them. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the same. It's all of them. It's Caesar Cannon, okay, and this other, mulatto punk in Las Vegas who was acting all uppity. Okay, it's all these people I see who are pushing this whole petition stuff. They act just like those fucking savages. So I'm like, you want a petition for what purpose? Well, you want protections from who? Like, you act just like the same people you want protections from. So it's a very weird conundrum that people are stuck in with this discussion. That's why I was like, I eliminated all the ambiguity, just mulatto. I don't know what you are, what you're dealing with. That's fine. But what I've documented, noted from day one is that this whole light skin thing, like, they're trying to pull you back in to serve the Bantus. And that's no bueno over here. Okay. I'm going to hurt your feelings. If not today, not tonight on this stream, possibly another stream or more streams. I'm going to have more. Okay. You hoes can try to cancel me. I saw some pussy. The yeah, I'll get into that fool another time. But yeah, you hoes can try to cancel me, but still gonna be here. If you notice, it's ugly black women mostly. I actually don't hear attractive ones complaining that black men don't like them. Yeah, because the attractive black women have their pick of the litter. They got everybody that wants a piece of that. Like they don't have any issues with males, right? Yeah, it's always the black women that are out of shape and they got nappy hair, their hair is not kept good, and there's something, or they're awkward. There's something that's like kind of missing with them. Yeah, the attractive black women aren't tripping because they can get, if they're not working out with the black guy, they'll get a Latino guy, they'll get a mixed guy, they'll get a white guy. Like they have plenty of options, right? Attractive black women have always and always will have options. They're always going to be uh valuable in the marketplace. It's always the undesirable ones who are complaining. And you see that on TikTok. Yeah, trying to blame racism on them being born ugly. Like the best example of that is a Tarana Burke, the one who did the whole Me Too thing. Tarana Burke, you look at her, that's like the ugliest black woman alive. I mean, seriously. I mean, like she's like the ugliest black female alive. Tarana Burke. You guys know who I'm talking about. Zucchini nose. Like you look at her face, like she has a bunch of acne scars on her face, and her nose is so fucking huge it takes up half of her face, right? That's texture and featureism, Mulatto Vanguard. Okay. These same hoes crying about featureism, they're talking shit about your boy being short and bald. That's why I laugh at you savages. I mean, you people are the same ones talking shit. See, it's no problem when they try to talk shit about a man and for how a man looks. But when you talk shit about how they look, they cry colorism, they cry tech. It's just, man, these hoes are fucking tripping, man. I don't know what else to say. Like this kind of like biased and one-sidedness with them, where they want to be racist to you, but you're racist to them. Then they want to cry to white people. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the key thing. I think you've noted that as well. It's funny, even you here, you noted that. It's so hilarious. Everyone sees it, right? Not just whites, but Asians, Hispanics, everyone sees it. And other people can kind of capitalize off of it as far as entertainment value. They'll listen to their little savage hip hop songs and laugh and ha ha ha, look at these fucking animals, deleting each other. Yeah, because it's like they hate themselves so much and they project it on their violence they commit towards their own. Yeah, and the whole world sees it, right? Why don't they think about it when whites don't like blacks? It's hardly about black Africans or Jamaicans. It's always black Americans, exactly. And I'm specific on this platform and all my platforms as well. And people don't like that, especially the biracials who got, bastard kids by black Americans. They don't like that because they know I'm saying, I'm calling a spade, speaking the truth. And they're like, well, you got a black American dad. Yeah, but I mean, what the fuck? I mean, a lot of people got a black American dads. Most black Americans, right, have a black American dad. Like, where the hell's their dad at? Where's their community at? Why is it 70+% out of wedlock birth rate? Why is there no business infrastructure? Why are all these black American males working for white American males and non-black American males? Like, why can't they build businesses with each other? Why can't they develop trust with their own race, the male counterparts? Well, why don't they ask those questions? Right? What is it with them and their culture why they can't build with each other? To where you have it to where now you got biracials, mulattoes who are out here like, fuck you fools, I'm gonna do my own shit and build my own, work with other people. Like, why am I gonna work with you when you're you're serving some other group of people, you're working other groups of men? Like, you're showing too much weakness out here. You cannot be dealt with in real you can't be respected. Okay, you don't demand respect. You can't be dealt with. It's like, look, if you're going to pay me, that's cool. We can talk and, kind of collaborate on that level. But if you're not paying me money, like I can't respect you to deal with you like that. Yeah. But yeah, this specificity, right? Black Americans have beef with non-American blacks online. Yeah, the whole ADOS and the dysphoria wars is what they call it. The dysphoria wars, they really kind of fucked themselves up with that. They opened up the whole can of worms with that. I don't know if it's ever going to be healed. I mean, the Pan-Africanists can try to like heal that up, but it's really a lost cause. They're just grifting off the other insecure blacks at this point. It's all tribalism. The tribalism is at an all-time high. Where me, myself, I'm looking at it like shit. I just want my own mulatto tribe and I'm speaking it into existence. I have my own shit. I don't give a damn what people say. You got your own little corner of the internet. You got your own little echo chamber. It's all good. I got my people I want to talk to and chit chat with. I'm good. I'm straight. Every day I got people I can network and coordinate with on all my platforms, not just YouTube, baby, on all my platforms. I'm good. For the amount of effort I put into this, for the like what I give into this and like the residuals, what I'm receiving back, I'm very thankful. I have developed something here. So yeah, the tribalism is at an all-time high. And like I said, with that specific group, they kind of fucked themselves up with the type of beef they're setting up and arranging with like these Caribbeans and continental Africans and all that. Like, because a lot of these other groups, they're going to realize that the former slaves are kind of in a no-win situation. They're going to look for other like allies and people to side with. So there's those opportunities are going to present itself to us. I'm just saying it's going to be there. Seems black UK people make them feel ashamed when they ask them where their family comes from. Many don't know due to slavery. Yeah, because the people in the UK, they're a lot of the blacks there from either the Caribbean, Jamaica specifically, or Nigeria, right? West Africa. And then the black Americans, they don't know where the fuck they come from. They're calling themselves Hebrew Israelites. They're making up shit. They're calling themselves Moors and fucking Indians. Like, they don't know where the fuck they come from. That's the difference between them and me. I know my ancestry, my heritage, where it comes from. That's the and they see you when you're proud, you're a biracial guy, you have black ancestry, European ancestry, and you're proud of who you are. See, they don't like that. They don't like that because they know that there's other women who are going to see you. And yeah, see, the more mature that I've developed, I start to see this stuff. Several years ago, I was naive. I just wanted to help these savages. I was like, I know the situation out here is very dire. I'm from California. I can see what's going on. Get the whites, the Anglos teaming up with the Spanish, the Chicanos, Mexicans, and they're trying to basically push the blacks out of California. I see what's going on for political power and influence. I can see it and I sympathize with them. But yeah, the tribalism has an all-time high, and I'm just reacting to the environment. That's it. I notice black people seem to think mixed people have an obligation to procreate with them. Yeah, they're sadly fucked up. Yeah, because the women they call tragic mulattoes are the mulatto women who don't prefer them, like a Halle Berry, like a Doja Cat. Any mulatta who doesn't prefer a dark skin, they call them tragic mulattoes because they expect mulattoes to be, basically bastard baby makers, to have a dark skinned black guy's bastard kids. Right. Like, so that's why they kind of like, what's her name? Mariah Carey, because she's a baby daddy's Nick Cannon. Right. But yeah, they target the women mainly because this is like a military strategy to destabilize populations. They want to bastardize the female group. So this is what they're doing with the females. And yeah, if the women aren't influenced by them, they want better outcomes in their life, then they call them tragic mulattoes. Like, because you didn't choose to be a baby mama. Like, and you look at the baby mamas, man, the ones who got black baby daddies, like fucking A, man. Like, I'm looking at, especially online with this YouTube shit or wherever, even other platforms, I'm like, they're struggling, man. They're struggling. They're not living high off the hog with all their bills paid and shit. Like, they got a black baby daddy, mulatto, mixed chick, her kids mostly black. Like, fuck, man, they're not getting help from their black baby dad. They're struggling. Don't get shit twisted out here, man, because I've been doing this shit for a minute, a couple of years, and I'm connecting with people, trying to network different mulattoes and all this stuff. And I'm telling you, man, I look at the ones who got black baby daddies, and they are doing far worse than the ones who have non-black, you know, uh, baby daddies, if I want to say it like that. A lot of the ones who have non-black partners, they're actually married. They're either, they're married or they're fiance or whatever. Like, it's just this is just what I see. This is what I see. It's crazy. It's crazy. I see this shit all the time. I saw a video about her where a black woman was saying she thinks she's better. I think I read that one. Let me go skip a little bit because I went in the middle. Let me just check out some of these comments and then kind of think I'm going to call it a night here. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow because I only got through one comment. Shit. Check, one comment that I saw from Val, but I got some other comments I want to share. I'll get into that another time. Typical lines, mulattoes raised by whites. Yeah, they always say that crap. Yeah, raised by a black struggling. Okay, well, how's that benefited society? Black women talk about how to scam, especially men, out of money a lot. And you notice that with their black female empowerment circles, right? Black women empowerment, like the Shira 7. Shira 7 is like the thought leader of the Exoticals United movement. And now people don't like the fact that I'm saying that about the Exoticals United, but Exoticals United positioned herself to basically be a misandrist, a leading misandrist in the online YouTube space. That's okay. That's fine. She wants her own little circle. That's cool. Okay. But she publicly, and I shared that on my other channel, she publicly said she deletes and blocks all men from commenting on her channel. Exoticals United. I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see where this goes. But you have to understand, Exoticals United, this whole like decentering men, but all they do is talk about men, and they're competing with black women for men, for black men. Let's be clear. Because the mixed women, look, other groups of men, yeah, they're mixed women to me are the most beautiful. And sure, but there's other beautiful women out here to compete with. So, but their high status is not amongst Latino men, Arabic men, white men. It's not. That pedestal is amongst the blacks. It's the blacks, the black males who pedestalize the mixed women. So their status is always going to be higher in that group. That's why a lot of the mixed women gravitate towards the blacks, because their status is going to be higher amongst them. I get that. And that's what you have with the Exoticals, where they're basically saying, if you're 25% non-black, you're mixed. Okay, well, that's not how we do shit over here in the mulatto sector. Okay, that's not what I'm doing over here. But that's what she does over there, and that's over there. But what I'm saying is that it's a majority black female space. They just pretend to be mixed. Okay, that's what they're doing. The golden sphere has always been that. Okay, so Exoticals is not the first one to do that. The whole golden sphere shit was a bunch of blacks with their little avatars pretending to be mixed. And you had a couple whites pretend to be mixed. That's what they're doing. But Exoticals United is Shira 7 is her name. She's a light-skinned black female who's supposedly married, talking about how to scam men for money, make these men pay up front. You need to level up. I think even Exoticals United, like even in her channel, she's like promotes talking about leveling up. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Leveling, like trying to get money off men, trying to scam men for money. It's that scammer shit. It's that black shit. Scamming people for fucking money, especially because they're using that gender angle, right? It's the Shira 7. That's the female's name. I seen some clips someone shared on TikTok. So she's over there on TikTok. I think she has a YouTube channel. I think that's her name, Shira 7. I don't know what the hell the 7 is. That sounds like some esoteric zodiac voodoo bullshit. Yeah, they're going to cast. There's a bunch of witches and shit. They're going to use astrology, casting spells on men and shit to get men to fucking pay them and give them money and shit. Like all that leveling up shit. It's like, that's all some scammer shit, man. Like, what do you guys not see that? Like, you see a female talking about leveling up, like, what the fuck is she talking about? Okay, be a normal person, get a job, go to school, get yourself some certifications, network with people, see how you can advance in whatever industry or field you're in. Like, what the hell? Leveling up how? Like, be a normal person and work out here. Get your own. It's some scammer shit, man. The language sounds very scammy. They want to scam men. That's that exotical shit. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna move on. Nobody I know with some sense, uh, yeah, do not see mulatto as black, except for some black ones. And even they know the difference, especially when they get mad at you. Thank you. Then you're an older lady, and I appreciate. Please keep those videos coming. I want to hear you. You sent me a couple videos. I watched it, all of it. I like your videos, so please share more with me. I'm gonna listen to all of them because you have a lot of knowledge and information. You have a lot of stories to share. And you have guys like me. I want to hear those stories. I mean, I can relate to it a lot. So I really want to hear more of your stories. But as you said, right, once, and I covered a documentary about mixed race and biracial people on this channel or my other channel like a year ago. I covered a documentary where it was a young mulatto woman, a young biracial woman who publicly said in the documentary, blacks are cool with her, but until she disagrees with them on something. Whenever you have a disagreement with them on something, then they're going to let you know, oh, you're not black like us. Then they remind the mulattoes and mulattoes that, oh, you're not a black. Oh, see, that's your white side. You're not black like us. See, that's how it is. When they get mad at you, then they outgroup you. I'm trying to eliminate all that fuckery. Like, we cannot allow them to think they have that influence over us. We got to just be like, look, let it be known when you deal with them on anything, politically, business, anything. I'm me. This is my group. You're there. That's you. That's your group. We're different groups. When you deal with them like that, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier moving forward. Because this effery and confusion crap, where they're trying to pretend like we're part of them, then they want to kind of push us out, like what they're doing with Drake. Oh, they not like us and all this dumb monkey shit. We got to stop all that crap moving forward. We have to. So true, Chris. And it's makes more sense to try to team up with Africans because their population is growing faster. That's good if they want numbers. You said, I saw a Bantu refer to Kamala and Obama as biracial traitors. How can we be traitors when they claim we aren't like them in the first place? Exactly, because that's the confusion the Bantus have. The Bantus want to claim you when it benefits them. At the same time, if you don't serve them in their little Bantu agenda, then they want to position you as being a traitor, a buffer class, and typical Bantu bullshit. That's all it is. They're confused. They don't know what Obama and like Kamala, these aren't blacks. They don't know blacks anything. But yeah, they're just spreading their confusion on the rest of the society. Most mixed and biracial women aren't into black men like that. Healthy people are naturally attracted to their own. Yeah. The biracial women and mixed women who are enculturated and socialized in the black society are going to be more so positioned to favor black males to get more acceptance into that group. But what they're trying to do, there's so much cock blocking going on because once they see a biracial, a mixed guy in the presence, they know automatically. I've seen this in the work environment. I've worked a lot in LA, in Los Angeles, doing private security for a lot of different shows, Academy Awards, concerts, events, conventions. Like, I've done a lot of private security for big venues and stuff in Los Angeles, California. And I've worked with a lot of blacks. I got a lot of experience there dealing with these people in that population, that specific environment. And I've noticed that too. Like, there'd be a lot of Blaxicans, there'd be mixed women, black, white, or black Mexican, and stuff like that. And I've noticed how, like, a lot of them, yeah, they kind of grew up around the blacks and stuff like that. They act like them. But once I show up, they naturally gravitate towards me. My energy, they see me. And I just saw the kind of cock blocking. The dark skinned Bantus would get upset. They're like, why are you gravitating towards him? Why do you like him? Yeah. There's so much of this stuff that goes on. It's very subtle as well every day. Yeah, and they're basically influenced and, encouraged to prefer the darker skinned male. Oh, they're more masculine. You guys all have these stories. I don't even have to share it. Everyone else can share these stories. We already know what the deal is, right? And a lot of Africans flock into the Caribbeans trying to start families, but they're not having it. Why do a lot of African Americans pretend whites want to be them? Most whites are proud and happy to be white, but they can't publicly say it without being racist. Yeah. Most hood mulattoes go for the blackest man, and they get the blackest results. They get the blackest results as well. Stretched out, turned out, tattoos and stretch marks all over the place, stank, smelling like a skunk, and it's just gross and no bueno at the end of the day. In the South, they still eat slave meals. Froderick, yeah, that's a cool one. I like that, Froderick. Yeah, I call him Coonrick. Coonrick Lamar showed his colors every day. Attack the mulatto male while leaving it vague of who's they and us. Exactly. Exactly. I think I got a soundbite for that.
Shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.
Leaving it vague and open to interpretation. Who is they and who is us? And you see the Whitney, her name is, his wife, and you got these fucking blacks trying to act like, oh, she's black, she's from Compton, both of her parents are black. And we look at her like, bro, you don't you don't have two black parents and you look like fucking Whitney. Like, you know, I don't know what her last name is, Whitney Alford, because they're not married. She doesn't have his last name. They're not a married couple. That's his baby mama. Some people get fucked up trying to say, you wifing up a mixed queen or some shit like that. And that's not his wife. He cheated on her. He abused her. Little old Kenny abused her and cheated on her with white women. That's what Drake was talking about. That's what he really likes, white women. Right? But he's got, if he gets a white woman like that one guy, what's his name? What's the other like rapper guy who's also does movies and shit? Childish Gambino, right? He'll be just like him. Like Childish Gambino has a white wife, right? So Kendrick Lamar would not have the same status with all the pro whack because he's trying to position himself to be a pro whack amongst the blacks, the slaves. He's trying to free the slaves with his stupid raps, right? So he's not going to have the same status if he had a white partner, but he cheats on his mixed race wife with white women, right? We all know that. And he abuses this woman here. Look at her. Is this a black woman? They don't even look the fucking same. They're not the same group. Like in Africa, they can go to Zimbabwe, to Kenya, to Uganda, across the fucking continent. Every dark-skinned black person, all the blacks, they're gonna look at her and be like, you got a white wife. Who's this white woman? Yeah, she looks more white than black. The blacks don't look like her. But the black Americans, a lot of the slaves, are going to sit there and tell you, oh, she got two black parents. She's from Compton. We're like, what? You guys are trying to rewrite the rules and shit. Oh, so she's a black. Oh, okay, I got it. But then they look at Drake and say Drake's not a black. That's why I don't take you people seriously. I cannot take you people seriously. Yeah. Who's the they and who's the us? The they is the biracial males, the mulatto male competitors, guys like me blabbing my fucking mouth. Who's the us? Oh, the biracial women that they can make baby mamas, like as you saw on the screen, Whitney, who's not married to Kendrick. She's a baby mama. She got her little baby mama results. Okay, have fun. Begging for fucking school supplies. That's what they're doing up here. Begging for cash apps and shit. Yeah, you got a fucking black baby daddy. Okay, have fun. Not about colonizers, but mulattoes. And he wouldn't dare oppose his white paymasters. You bet your bottom dollar. Didn't Kendrick Lamar do a like little feature with what's her name, Taylor Swift or some shit like that? I heard about that. I heard something about that. Kendrick Lamar has a song with Taylor Swift. You know, like he'll say colonizers, which is like a euphemism, right? Kind of a buzzword. You know damn well that that savage is not going to go after his white masters, his paymasters. You know who pays his bills. These blacks aren't paying him. They don't support him like that. And I'm gonna talk about. I said with what's his name the angry man. He was going after. He was going in with the caller on this whole Drake Kendrick thing. I'm gonna do it tomorrow, a live stream. And like that's the thing. Like yeah, there's so much to say on this. Where do I start? Yeah, this whole colonizer concept. Yeah, I lost my whole train of thought. I'm thinking too much. I'm trying to get through these comments, man. I apologize, guys. Not about colonizers, but mulattoes. Yeah, he wouldn't dare oppose his white paymasters. Because, okay, this is what I was going to say. I just remembered. It's late, guys. I apologize. Long day. Good day, though. Good day. Friday the 13th. Good day at work. Good workout. Now I'm up here talking shit. But what I was saying is about Kendrick Lamar, and you put the comment here, he's not going to oppose his white paymasters because they're trying to act like Kendrick Lamar has all this like hood swag and it's all these blacks from the hood who support him and shit. But most of these blacks in the hood, they like Drake. They listen to Drake shit. Drake shit's popping because he has more tracks and more features. Kendrick's not a better rapper. He doesn't have more hits. The reason why the culture supported Kendrick because the culture, the blacks in America are showing the whole world how fucking racist they are, how anti-biracial they are, anti-white. That's what these blacks are showing the whole world with this whole Drake and Kendrick thing. They're showing everyone that they're the new racist. It's these dark-skinned Bantus, these former slaves. These are the racists out here. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow. And you notice they're not talking about their white paymasters because Kendrick is getting paid off by the whites. That's why like the blacks are talking about, oh, he got an award, a Grammy award. He's going to be at the NFL in the halftime. And he got a what they call the award Pulitzer. I don't know how to pronounce it. Some award by some white institution. You know, this dark skinned Bantu is getting awards from white people. They're sitting there like, oh, he's a real one. He from the hood. He's getting awards from all these fucking colonizers, quote unquote colonizers. You see how much of a fraud this pro-wax shit is? Like all they want to do, and that's why I got out of that and laughed at it, was like, look, the pro-wax shit, all they do is basically flex on other people who have black ancestry, specifically the mulatto males who are searching for a community, the mulatto males who are too fucking stupid and pussy to realize they got to build and develop their own shit. So these pro wax can basically punk them with that pro wax shit. That's all it is. The pro wax, you got Phil Advice Show with the fucking Mexican wife, Tariq Fraud Sheed with the mulatto partner, even though Tariq Fraud Sheed's selling DVDs called Hidden Colors, talking shit about mulattoes. He did the 1804 DVD talking shit about mulattoes. You see how Tariq Fraud Sheed is making money with pseudo history, slandering light-skinned males, mulatto men, but he's married to a mulatto woman? Are you light skins calling that? You light skinned blacks who identify with the fucking blacks, the dark skin, the Bantus? That's your brother. That's your dark skinned brother. Are you calling that out? Tariq Fradsheed making money, talking shit about the mulatto men while he's married to a mulatto woman. Do you guys not see what's going on with Kendrick Lamar? He calls him Fraudrick. It's kind of funny. Talking shit about the mulatto man, Drake, but he's married to a mixed race woman. So, yeah, let me continue on. The Super Bowl is going to be the most pro-black event in the history of television, and funny enough, there'll be neckbeards who hate light-skinned men for never kissing white butt, citing lyrics. Yeah, it's mostly whites who support NFL. And the whites are going to be singing along and all that shit. Because, like I said, Kendrick Lamar is part of this conspiracy. He's part of the elites. They're paying him to cause division. So, and they want to talk about Drake and the owl. The Drake uses the owl symbol and all this crap. Well, he's half Jewish. He's working with the elites. You don't think this Bantu Kenny is working with the elites. All the shit he's pulling with these dark skins, and they're gonna have a bunch of whites in the bleachers and the NFL, the halftime show, singing and dancing that shit. They already are. They already are. They're like, oh, I want to be like a black from the hood. They're already singing to that shit. They already are. And it's funny because Kendrick, there's a video out there where he tried to basically haze this white gal who's a college student, trying to tell her publicly, you can't say the N word, even though it's in my songs and my lyrics. You can't say that because you're white. So you have a fucking black Bantu who's trying to tell whites what they can and can't say. And you got these stupid fucking white idiots who are still going to support Kendrick Lamar. I can't help you people. I'll sit here and laugh and report the news. I don't give a shit. You're not paying me. Fuck you. You support this savage attacking us? Okay. Noted. It's noted. Yeah, and we're going to move forward over here. You put black people should have more self-respect. Call out these ghetto blacks. Separate from them. Stop focusing on whites every day. They are doing that, though. There are a lot of black Americans, black people who are doing that. So I will give credit where credit's due. Do I need to name and cite sources? I don't know if I need to. But there are those who are. I mean, and they're not just conservative. They have the conservative grifters. I don't honestly like any of these black conservatives. I don't. Officer Tatum, he's already proven himself to be a piece of fucking shit scumbag. He referred to this woman as a half-breed, even though he's got mixed kids. So he's a scumbag savage. He's a grifter. And Coach Greg Adams, another fucking grifter, black savage. So a lot of these conservative grifters on the right, I'm not a fan of them. But there are people who are basically delineating themselves. Because using the term separation is kind of tricky. Because what these communists are going to do, they're going to position you and say, oh, well, you're a separatist. They'll try to say, I had some idiot on TikTok try to say, you're a mulatto separatist. I'm like, where the hell is the word separate in any of my vocabulary? It might have slipped up a couple times, but I don't put comments or text or say separate from the blacks. Like, hey, I'll do business with you. You got to pay us. I'm trying to renegotiate my position with these individuals, or as I call savages. You need to pay us. You want something from us. We want something from you. It's going to be business on our terms. So I'm talking about an independent entity, a self-sustaining body politic, our own classification. That's my whole position. This whole separate, like the whole world, we're interconnected, mass transportation, communication. I'm still open to do business with everybody. I'm not sitting here trying to separate and go on my own island with anybody. I'm out here in the world. I like people. Doesn't matter what color t-shirt you have on. I'm willing to do business with everybody, but we have to negotiate our position, because there's people out here who are trying to maneuver us to be a subordinate. And I'm very insulted by that and angered, as you can hear in my voice, my tone, my delivery. Yeah. But I don't typically use the language separate. I think delineate is key. Delineation. Let them know, hey, I'm not the same as you people. Like Kendrick said, I'm piggybacking. I said it before Kendrick. Okay, I'm not the same as you people. And they get mad when I say it, but they want to say it, and it's all fun and games. You see, it's funny how that works, right? When that's how it is with Blackistan. You tell them you're not like them. You can't say that. White master looks at you. I don't give a fuck what the whites look at me as. I'm talking to your ass right now. I'm dealing with you right now. I'm not the same as you. It don't matter what you say. When the police pull you over, well, I don't act like you people. I'm pro cop. I don't get pulled over like that. So now what? See, they don't want you to tell them you're not black, but they want to tell you. And I'm trying to tell these mulattoes, you guys got to have some pride. You guys have some pride and take your power back. You got to basically check them and tell them, let them know what's up. Now, I'm not special. I'm just a little guy with a mouth and a chip on my shoulder. You call it what you will. Fuck that. I'm not getting punked by you savages. Fuck that. Some mulattoes were slaves, house slaves, some not. After a while, quadroon term was integrated into the mulatto definition. That's why you never saw quadroon category in census registries, etc. Did your white family disown you or not acknowledge you? Kendrick said Drake doubled down, calling us some slaves. They act like some slaves. With that whole not like us, they act like some slaves. Because they buck dance for whites. I mean, all those people dancing and not like us, they love whites. You guys should already know this by now. Like all they want is white acceptance. They're just mad that the biracial guy Drake didn't give them that. They're mad that he outperformed them. Too fucking bad. We're all gonna outperform you. I mean, look at Gable Stevenson, all these entertainers, and Dea, Halle Berry's been outperforming them for decades. I don't understand what they expect. Like all these musicians, they're gonna continuously outperform them. Doja Cat. Now you got this like with Ice Spice, you got this dark skin who's crying and complaining. It's the same shit. Right? I saw a Bantu refer to Kamal. I read that already. They're biracial traders. Yeah, I don't get it. Of asking, what benefit do mulattoes get? What I think the position, what I think, I don't just think I know, the position now is to let it be known to people what I'm doing over here, what other people are doing, that's beneficial to the mulatto collective as far as raising consciousness and establishing cohesion and building an actual think tank, a sense of community, doing the best you can with what resources you have compared to those who are just trying to fit in with blacks. And we're already going to be outnumbered for sure, but this is an investment over time. Once people realize it's okay for them to be themselves, they're going to gravitate more towards this, what we got over here. But right now, as I can see, yeah, a lot of them, they're comfortable just kind of begging for a seat at the table. And you know what? There's certain stipulations attached to that, because they're not just going to get granted access with the blacks. The blacks are going to basically weaponize them to attack us. This is what you have to understand. This has always been the thing from day one. Most of my opposition is not blacks. They know what I'm saying is fucking true. They don't like my delivery, right? They know what I'm saying is true. They can't argue it. But what they'll do is they'll basically weaponize these biracial baby mamas and other idiots to try to attack me, or the ghetto hood booger biracials, whatever, to try to humble me. It hasn't been effective. They've all been basically cooked. I don't understand. Like, none of these individuals have anything to offer me. They don't have any intelligence or anything new, anything innovative to present, or even critique my arguments. Nothing. Like, all they have is ad hominem attacks. They go into some weird personal shit. You're bald and short. You don't get no pussy. You're an incel. Okay. Have you basically discredited anything I said? No. So I'm still here talking. They have nothing to offer me. They can't prove anything, or they can't dispel any of the, beliefs, or they can't prove anything wrong. It's just, the mulattoes, the black identified mulattoes, are the biggest tools for black supremacy. They're weaponized against us, period. I knew that from day one. It's going to be the case. Just know my dad was estranged with his brother. They were the only two siblings. His parents are deleted, or they're gone. I wasn't born yet. His grandparents are from Italy and Germany. So I just don't have white family members in the United States. I think his brother has a son. I've never met him, though. White people have never disrespected me for being mixed race. Only black people have ever done this. A lot of us can relate to that. I've had whites disrespect me for being mixed. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. I've had both black and whites. They both, and they both work together to discriminate against us, to neutralize us, to make us think that we don't have an option, when we have more of an option now than ever before. We have so many tools at our disposal. Not only that, we can jump on a plane and connect with other mulattoes and build something. So we have so much to our advantage with this internet and everything we got going on. But I've had both the whites and the blacks. They work together to disrespect and discriminate against mulattoes and other groups too. Because, and that's another thing too, which we gotta be aware of. It's not just a black-white thing. Now you got the Latinos and the Asians and these other groups and Arabs. They're also in on the game as well, competing in society. So they're discriminated against mulattoes. See, everybody's in on the game, but the mulattoes, like, they're fucking hoodwinked, thinking they're black. And because they see a pathway to blackness as being the easiest route in society, instead of collaborating with other mulattoes to build something, a fortified structure for protection, real representation where you can be your true authentic self. You don't have to hide underneath the dark skins and help that, amplify them while they step on your ass, and reap all the benefits. That's what the way I kind of see it and envision it as. Where a lot of these mulattoes who are captured underneath blackness, they don't represent their true self because you look at them, you're surrounded by dark skinned blacks. Like, bruh, how do you fit in? Like, you don't look like these people. Oh, but black is dominant. Like you look at it like Angela Rye. You guys know what she looks like, right? Or Kendrick Lamar's baby mama, Whitney. You look at these people, or a Michi X, or even a Drake who's trying to act like he's down with the blacks and hip hop. Like you don't even look like these fucking people. I don't get it. At least with J. Cole, he does his little dreadlocks to try to blacken it up to make it, But he's got a white mama, and he talks shit about whites, of course, to fit in with blacks. It's just not natural. I don't get it. And the same people who are paying these blacks, like, are these whites. So no, they're in on it too. They just think they can hide behind these fucking Bantus. But once we start digging this shit up and uncovering this stuff, their ass is gonna get called out too. And you think I got haters now? You wait. I'm gonna get way more haters. Yeah, they're gonna come. They're gonna come. I'm gonna get way more haters once I start calling their ass out. Because they think they can sit back and just pay these blacks to attack us and shit. Nope. Even in the United Kingdom, mixed race people are seen as mixed, not black. Only in America is the one drop rule followed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nowhere in Africa, nowhere in the Caribbean, nowhere in South. Yeah, in Brazil, they're using the kind of basically the, what do they call that? I just had it at the tip of my tongue, that word they call it, the blueprint. I guess I can say that. There's another term as well, but they're using the American blueprint of the one drop rule in Brazil. That's what a lot of the Pardos are fighting against, because a lot of Brazil's society is influenced by American policies and American media, etc. Because they see these mulattoes in media, like Alicia Keys, talk about she's a black woman, she's got a white mom. We're like, you fucking dummy. Black women don't have white moms. Like, so in a lot of Pardos and mixed in Brazil society, they see these mulattoes who are pretending to be black in media. So a lot of that's inspired, or I wouldn't say inspired, it's basically promulgated into their society, to where a lot of the militant blacks, what a lot of Pardos will classify them as militant blacks, are trying to weaponize the one drop rule over there to keep Pardos as a subordinate group to blacks. So I'm going to get more into that in the future, because I'm going to do a lot more networking in the future. So I'll just say that right now, but we're gonna get a lot more into the whole Pardo discussion. Let me just stay right here with what I'm doing. Black folks are segregated and don't accept you as black. Yeah, I'm not black like them. So I've been saying that for a minute. I don't know, but they're the ones trying to convince me that I'm just like them. The police gonna pull you over, and oh man, them white folks don't accept you. I don't give a fuck what you people accept. I'm doing my own shit. I got my own people now. I'm good. My own people, they're finding me. When I see, what really inspires me is I get these messages from people. I get these direct messages. I get these emails, especially from like mulattoes. I see their social media. They got businesses, like they're established in society, and they're older than me, men and women, mulattoes and mulattas, men and women, older than me, professionals, and they're like thanking me, saying, "Man, they're so happy they found my channel, my content." That's very motivating to me. So I'm good. I got my own people now. I got my own people. Like, I'm straight. It's this whole acceptance component, you're mad the whites don't accept you, the blacks. I see the con for what it is. You people work together as a team to neutralize us. You look at us as a political threat. Okay, you can stay scared. Okay, you think Donald Trump's going to help your ass. Okay, you can think that. We'll see. Because we're all going to be back here gathering notes and collecting data as well. We're going to see how beneficial he really is. Says, hi, I'm doing well, just working as I follow along with the live. I remember Umar was complaining because a lot of kids in the sports draft had a white mom. He complained of the snowstorm. Yeah, Umar is a punk. He's whining and crying because the kid, yeah, they had a white mom and a black dad. And because Dr. Umar, he thinks just like a white supremacist, right? So he looks at the mulattoes as a political threat and for representation because we're dominating all the sports. They're calling it the National Biracial Association, the NBA, because there's all these mulattoes and biracials dominating that shit. And I don't even watch basketball. I only watch combat sports, mainly cage fighting, bare knuckle or UFC cage fighting. I watch One FC, which is a Japanese organization, but they do MMA and stuff. So yeah, jiu-jitsu, grappling, boxing. I only watch the fighting stuff. All the basketball, football, I don't keep up with any of that crap. But I know mulattoes are dominating all that stuff. I know that. Yeah, so Umar's gonna cry. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The new movie on Netflix called Deliverance tried to depict a dysfunctional white mom and mixed daughter. Some love to stereotype us as that dynamic, yeah. Black women also age beautifully as well as mulatto women. Yeah, black women do age beautifully. I thought about that the other day. I was thinking about the other day as well. I think a lot of black women get into their prime in their 30s, and I know you're a white woman, and I'll be honest, I feel like a lot of white women, their primes are in their 20s, their early to mid 20s. It starts to peak out in their late 20s by the time they're 30. I feel like black women, they age more gracefully in that their peak is a little bit later on. I'd say a decade after Caucasian women. I'm gonna be honest with you. My observation as a man out here, that I see black women, African American, whatever, I could say mainly African American, right? If she's keeps herself up at the gym, whatever, whatever job, whatever she's doing, she keeps herself up, her hygiene, everything's on point. Her body's in shape, her fitness, like they're in their prime, like their peak in their like 30s from what I see. I'm in my mid 30s, but I've known this for several years, just dealing with women in the environment. I've noticed this, that just I feel like honestly black women age more gracefully than a lot of these other women. They do. So their peak is a lot later in life, and when they're in their 30s, their mid 30s, that's when they kind of reach their peak. Versus other women, when they're in their kind of their 20s, they reach their peak. That's just my observation. I know there's guys that are going to agree, guys that disagree. That's fine, whatever. I'm just letting it be known. The ones that complain are usually into subculture too much, and you can't put them anywhere. Let's see what we got. They have all types of woke terms. Yeah, all the isms, right? Feature, colorism, texturism. Yeah, I think Keith, I think you're black. I'm not sure you're black male, but that's the whole thing, is that they'll say you're black, then they'll say you're not black, right? But then they'll sit there and say biracials are confused. When they say that, the biracial, the mulatto is confused, what they're basically saying is that as the biracial doesn't accept being a bitch to a black. That's what they're saying. Like, they want you to just acknowledge being black so that they can be the guardians over you and punk you. So when they see a biracial who's like, oh, I'm biracial, I'm not black, they're like, oh, you're confused, you don't know what you are. Because they want to be able to basically punk you and tell you what you are, right? And they don't even know what the fuck you are. They make their, depending on their little, emotions, they're going to say you're black today, you're not black tomorrow, you're the seed of your father, So, yeah. The people over here already know the game. It's hard as hell working with ghetto blacks in a workforce as well. Many have no impulse control. They will crash out over almost anything. Elroy Swartz, shout out to you. Shout out to all the South African colors. It has been said that mulatto people usually have a higher IQs. Is this racist to say? I don't know. there's no way of knowing that, because when the mulattoes, when they take these samples, when they check black. A lot of mulattoes check black as far as businesses, acquisition, as far as the IQs, the intelligence quotient tests, as far as the university admittance. Like when a lot of mulattoes check, like when this data, these surveys are given, it's like a lot of these mulattoes check black. So like they inflate the black numerical numbers to make it think that there's this many more black businesses. You come to find out it's a bunch of mulattoes who started businesses. It's this many blacks who got this, high profile, CEO or position. It's a bunch of mulattoes, like, because a lot of these mulattoes check black. So we don't have our real statistical data. So when we analyze the whole IQ argument, well, a lot of these mulattoes just check black when they fill out these tests. So how the hell, these surveys, how the hell are we going to know? Like, that's the whole reason why classification is crucial. So we have data we can analyze and see where we're strong at and where we're weak at, and how we compare to other groups, what we can offer society, where are our areas of improvement. We're too used to being in a subordinate position, serving others, making sure other people feel good. We forget about our own damn battle. We forget about ourselves. And that's the whole point here, is for this whole personal, autonomy and sovereignty. Let's think about ourselves in the future. For once, for the past 100 years, we've been thinking about helping out specifically African Americans, and look what that's done for you. The number one song, They Not Like Us. They're telling your ass they're not like you. What has that done? All this caping for the past 100 fucking years. And now they're sitting here. Their number one song is trying to tell you you're not like them. It's very sad to see this situation. I'm just here reporting the news. Like, what the fuck? This all fell on my lap. I didn't ask for this stuff. I'm just living my life out here. But I see what's going on and I'm commentating on it. So I got to be the bad guy. I don't like your tone. I don't like your delivery. Kiss my ass, bitch. Go cry to some whites and see if I give a fuck. The black men I dated when I was younger would always talk about having kids with me. I thought it was weird because I don't care about having kids, but also we are like 20. Yeah. Let's see. You put here, Shira7 is Puerto Rican. Her dad is Puerto Rican. Yeah, she looks black. I don't know. She a light skinned black. She's half Puerto Rican or something. She's an Afro Latina. Yeah, Shira7. She's with this whole like get rich shit, grift off men, make money off men, and all this crap. Yeah, basically being a hooker. I mean, I've said this plenty of times, people, clip this, quote this, whatever. Like, guys aren't just going to give women money. They have this category they call them, yeah, cucks or whatever. The whole simp thing, that's used very like loosely. They call me a simp because someone said I was gooning because I shared like, several images of mulattoes on this channel. I did like a back-to-back post, 3 posts back-to-back of mulattoes, like Zoe Kravitz. You guys know I love her. I love sharing pictures of Zoe Kravitz, and I did one of like Miss Mulatta, somebody else. Someone in the chat or someone in the comment was like, it looks like you're gooning. You're gooning. You should share some pictures of some guys and mix it up. Fuck out of here. I didn't block the hoe, but it's just some idiot with a dumb comment. Like, whatever, man. But yeah, what I'm saying is like, who's gonna, like, so the simp thing, people just throw that kind of word out there a lot, right? Like with incel, that's why I kind of laugh. And I use that term a lot for people. It is what it is. Just like people throw racism around and all this crap. Colorism doesn't mean shit anymore. And but yeah, there are guys who are so down bad where they will pay women to like to talk to them or for attention or some shit. Like, so they have categories, right? So they have the incel, the simp, but within the kind of adult industry, we're talking about pornography. There is nomenclature. There's a term, or I guess in a phrase, they call it a pay pig. That's literally, and I put that in the same category as what they call a cuckold. A cuckold is like the extreme, which is dominant, is white males. You look at their position in society. We have white males who will literally pay to have their partner, usually it's a white female, you know, doing acts with usually the black males. They call them bulls. There's a whole industry of that with the swingers and stuff and the cucks. It's pretty gross. So you have the cuckolds, the cucks, but then you have these pay pig. And I'll be real with you. I mean, it's mostly white guys who fall into that demographic of this depravity, this pay pig, and this mistress. This mistress, they have this concept in this market out here of guys, of males. It's all degeneracy from men. It's male, the pathology of males and degeneracy to have this exist out here, to completely fuck up the whole marketplace, to have some of these lunatics think they're fucking special, or they think they're goddesses. They're out here calling themselves goddesses. Some smelly fucking idiot who's like, and there's guys who will pay them. And you have this concept called a pay pig. Literally, there's a market for that. So when I look at this Shira 7 individual, where it's like, you say she's Puerto Rican, she's probably mixed or whatever, black, Puerto Rican, whatever she is. But the whole thing is like the leveling up. It's like, who's going to give this random person fucking money for what? What is she doing? Like, but there's guys out there, they call them pay pigs. And that's what they're marketing. These are like literally like they're marketing towards these guys that are like down bad to pay to get some, like it's very fucking disgusting. Let me move on. One got stabbed in the neck. Says with these, that's crazy. I don't know. Looks like some hood trauma stories there. You put Shira made a video talking about how black women didn't like that she was giving advice to black women. And Shira said most of her people were Asian, black, and white. Yeah, most of her people are black. I mean, she's got the exoticals listening to her. Those are all black. So, yeah. It's weird because a lot of women like Shira 7 claim to be feminists, but yet expect a guy with gobs of money, even if they aren't their husband, on the first date. I don't see anything wrong with coffee. Yeah. Yeah. Is she a feminist? They're feminists, but you expect a lot of these feminists are lesbians, though, right? Because that's what the whole feminism stuff is all started. It's all a bunch of lesbians. So it's like how you're a feminist, but you still like guys and you still want their money. You still depend on men. Level up. Are they going to level up, off of other women or what? Who they're leveling up off of? Yeah, they need guys. They want guys' money. And like I said, the only guys who will fall are these pay pig type of cuckold, weak ass guys. Like I'm sitting there thinking to myself, who's giving these people money? It's those guys. It's those pay pig, weak characters. He promotes marrying unattractive, older, lonely men to use for money. Or she, you put she, yeah. Yeah. She promotes marrying unattractive, older, lonely men to use for money. Yeah. Yeah, that's the hustle. I mean, and there's guys who have the money. There's rich guys who are lonely. Yeah. It seems kind of a depraved life, though, if you tell me. But that's, there's a market for that. What are you gonna do? I mean, I'm not gonna hate on anyone's hustle. That's not how I get down. But I'm sitting there looking at it like, damn, I'm not gonna be in that position. I'm not gonna be one of these old lonely guys. Well, that arrangement. It's funny enough, they have a website called like Seeking Arrangements. That whole arrangement, that's basically, it's like a sugar daddy or sugar baby situation, right? An unattractive, older, lonely guy who's of course is out of shape, who's got a fucking beer belly, of course, because a guy who's older and who's got some cash in his pocket, who's in shape, you know, he's not going to be dealing with some cockroach like Shira 7 trying to take his cash, right? He's going to get a return on his investment, right? Any logical man will get a return on their investment and negotiate, of course. But yeah, there's a market for all this crap. You put my value system can't agree with scamming men for their money. I am smart and don't need to milk a guy's pocket. only the hottest chicks are capable of doing that anyways, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, these social media personalities try to make it seem like some average chick can get like rich, and some of them do get lucky, but yeah, it's just like some grifter crap, man. Sheer 7. They turn to Cardi B, make music, and glorify robbing men. Yeah. You say a lot of attractive black women wear very heavy contorted makeup and wigs. It is night and day when it comes off. There's a really pretty black woman on TikTok. I think she's Jamaican. She does live screaming about God or something. I don't remember her name. Yeah. I've heard some feminists say that your husband should pay you if you're a full-time homemaker, even when he's providing for you. I don't like the whole trad wife to poverty pipeline idea. He's providing for you, but he still should pay you. But he's providing for you. It's kind of like a oxymoron, right? If he's providing you rent, food, like he pays for your car, your cell phone, like all the expenses are paid. I think they still want like an allowance or something, extra money. I mean, if that's your wife, just buy her what she wants. If she wants some new shoes or some clothes, or I don't know what the hell she wants, a gym membership, you know, you should still just pay her. You know, you're providing for her. Like the way it's phrased here, like husband should pay you if you're a full-time homemaker, even when he's providing. If you're providing for her, like to me, that means yeah, all her bills are paid. Everything's paid. Like all her expenses are paid. Like her food. What else does she need? Like you should still pay her. Pay her fucking what? This arrangement's fucked up, man. That the whole market out here it seems pretty bizarre. Just pay still, even though you're paying for everything. Just pay me more. Mixed guys are very attractive. Yeah, the Latinas know that. You ask any mixed guy, they'll tell you most of the success a lot of us have is going to be the Latinas. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You have a lot of black men that hate Kamala Harris because she's with a white man. Yeah. Yeah. I saw a video from a lady. She's like kind of a weird divester, old lady. She's like an old light skinned divester lady. So it's kind of weird. But she basically was saying that a lot of the blacks give Kamala a pass because her previous partner was, I think, Montel Williams, I believe it was the guy, the TV kind of guy on TV. I think Kamala was dating him back in the day, and then also um, the mayor of San Francisco, which is Willie Brown, is a black male. So a lot of the black males will excuse Kamala and her current partner because they're like, oh, well, she was with the black guys before, 20 years ago. So, and Kamala's a good looking, I mean, she's a good looking woman now. She's not ugly. I don't care what any of you people say. You don't like her politics, but Kamala Harris is what, 56? She's almost 60 years old. She looks good. But even if you look at images of her back then, she's mixed. She's good. She's a Blindian, right? She's like Jamaican, Indian, Blindian, mixed woman. Yeah, mixed women are naturally attractive, and these are the women that I'm attracted to more than any other woman. I'm attracted to all these chicks, but you know what I mean. Not all of them, but I definitely have a preference for the mixed women. And Kamala Harris, yeah, you look at her now. Let me just pull up an image of her. Let's see how old she is. She's like 56 or something like that. Let me see what we got. 59. 59. So she's actually, yeah, basically 60 years old. Let's check this out. 59 years old, Kamala Harris. And her birthday's coming up October 20th. So she'll be 60 years old. We can look at her recent, I don't know, she was in a debate. I don't know. Most of these photos are all recent images of her. She's not an ugly woman. She's not an ugly woman. She's not hideous. She's not unattractive. People try to clown her ass because they don't like her politics, because she's a politician. She's bought and paid for like all of them. Okay. Oh no, Trump's a real defender of democracy. All, I don't know, I don't want to get into politics, honestly. It's gonna get me into some trouble over here. What I'm saying is that the Kamala Harris is not an ugly female. Okay, she's older, 60 years old, but you know. So what I'm saying is a lot of the blacks will give her kind of a pass, so to speak, because she was with a couple blacks back in the day, right? At my job, I old with a lot of Muslims, and they do that where the men provide, but the women keep their money, and the men, yeah, give them an allowance. Yeah, you need a vanilla cream to help out with your self-esteem. Yeah, it's Kendrick. Kendrick is not marrying his longtime baby mama. Is typical. Yeah, he's not going to marry her. He bastardized another mixed chick. It's a way to conquer kind of the mixed group, so to speak. And they do that with whites. They have kids with whites, and then they leave the whites, and single white mama with her mixed kid. Now, and I like the fact that the white men are basically kind of humiliating these women, or they're joking about them. I have no issue with that. I don't want to say if I like it or whatever. It's not my business. I kind of laugh and chuckle at it. I think when I look at these pages with these white incels, white nationalists, like I feel they're all in their right. They're white women. They're basically shaming them about burn the coal, pay the toll. Where I draw the line to where now I'm noticing, and I'm gonna have to start documenting, making more videos, is where they're talking shit about the kid, an innocent, helpless mulatto child. They're trying to say, oh, that child's ugly. These mixed kids are ugly. And I'm like, what? You have adult males who are saying that. So when I see that, it like my competitive edge is like inflamed in society. Like I'm more motivated now when I'm at the gym and I see these posts and I'm like, these guys like talking shit about kids. Like this is not normal in quote unquote civilized society, right? Because they try to act like they're so much more civilized than the blacks, but then I don't really see these blacks putting out these posts talking shit about kids. I don't see it, but I see the white incels doing that. It's one thing if you want to talk about the women, the white women making dumb decisions. Now they're baby mamas, single moms. I get that. But why the fuck you talking about the kid? What the fuck does a kid have to do with any of that? That it wasn't his decision to be born. So I draw the line there, and I'm documenting all this stuff. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar does what a lot of them do, bastardize these women. And I don't feel sorry for the women. Like I said, they deserve to get laughed at. They wanted to be down. They wanted to be black and be part of the hood. You got your little hood black results. Have fun. The Whitney woman looks miserable in every photo and video she's in, like many mulattoes in the black community. Exactly. They act aggressive. They act like men. They talk like guys, Yeah, the Whitney woman, that's what Drake was laughing about in his diss tracks, saying that every caption screams, help me, when he sees pictures of Whitney on Instagram, and even the whole Not Like Us music video. Even though she was dancing around looking stupid, you look at images of her, she doesn't look that happy because she knows her little dark skin, Kenny was cheating on her ass with white women and shit. Like she knows, like, and she looks stupid. Like as a woman, how can you like accept that? Like, and no man will even respect you. Like, if you're with somebody who cheats on you, and that's vice versa, right? Like, how can you sit there and accept that? But what it is, maybe Whitney feels like she's not going to get another guy at Kendrick's level, especially now, because Kendrick, dark skinned Bantu, he needs this beef with this biracial guy in order to be big. They're talking about Kendrick, his Not Like Us reaching #1. Yeah, he needed a biracial guy to get that song. Like, he couldn't just do it with this fake pro-wax shit. He can't just be a black in his talent and get #1. No, he needs the mulatto in order to get that #1 spot. That's how they use you. They need you mulattoes to propel themselves in society. And Kendrick and Drake's situation's perfect example. So yeah, you look at images of like Whitney, she doesn't look happy, but she's probably thinking she's not going to get another little Kenny. She'll accept the abuse. She'll accept the, affairs and all this stuff. Just the same way Vanessa Bryant did with Kobe Bryant. Because Vanessa Bryant's not going to get another Kobe. So that's probably what Whitney feels like. She's not going to get another little Kenny. Because, even Whitney herself mixed chick in the hood in Compton, has probably been ran through as well. Bunch of different blacks, and so she's like, she might as well just work it out with little Kenny. It's kind of how it goes. Yeah. I've never heard any Kendrick songs before his beef. His voice is weird. Why can't anyone hear that? It's weird, but me. It sounds like a baby accent. Yeah, he only has a few hit songs. He has like the Mad City. He has a Humble, Mad City, Humble, and then he did in the Black Panther movie. He had with like J Rock, a feature with J Rock. I think Future was in the track. Kendrick Lamar only had a handful of songs that were like popping. They had some like radio play. I had a few of his songs on my playlist, several like few years ago. Kendrick Lamar only had a handful of songs. But compared to Drake's catalog, and see, that's why these Bantus are trying to rewrite history. Like, oh well, Drake doesn't write any of his music. He never wrote those songs. He had a ghostwriter. Someone else wrote all the songs. That's how they're trying to basically, you know, rationalize the fact that Drake has way more hits than Kendrick will ever have. Like Drake has so many fucking hits. And they try to rationalize it by saying he doesn't even own his own art. Well, someone else made that for him. They wrote those lyrics to that song. He didn't write those lyrics. He ain't a real artist. Whatever you savages say, you know damn well they're all gonna still listen to Drake. They can hate and lie about the biracial guy all they want. The facts are the facts. People are still gonna listen. It's I'm just one guy talking my shit. I don't give a damn. I'm not trying to be down or cool with you people. You're not paying me. Fuck you. I'm not. I don't. Shit. I don't got kids by you people. You put Yes, Bad Blood with Taylor Swift, his first number one hit. Yeah, he needed a white woman to get his number one hit. Yeah, he needed Taylor Swift. Yeah, exactly. And then now he has a number one with what? Not Like Us. He needed the half white mulatto man from Canada, Drake, to get. Yeah, of course. That's how it works with them. They need you to get up. Yeah. You put in South African, they would not exactly refer to Kendrick's wife as white. They would call her colored because they know the difference between pure black and mixed people, but certainly not white. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because the whites gatekeep what white is. So in United States of America, the whites have a very loose term of what being white is, and they always change it based on the era and the political environment to boost their numbers. So the whites will bring in the Latinos and Hispanics and include them into their group, just like they will with the Arabs. Even though you see this wars going on within the Middle East and the Gulf and all this stuff, right? But the same Arabs will come to America, and the whites, the Anglos, will allow them to mix in with them and claim them as whites for political, numerical reasons. They do this with the Latinos, Hispanics as well. They'll even mix in with these groups. They'll mix in with the Mexicans, and then they'll be, oh, these are whites, right? So it's interesting to see, like maybe in South Africa, how the dynamics are. Now, if the whites mix in with the Indians, the East Indians, do they claim the offspring as white, or they're not colored, or there's something else differently? I would beg to say that they claim those offspring of Indians and whites as white because they need the numbers, right? They need the numbers because they're all operating, all these Commonwealth nations, based off Romanism, based off these Roman concepts of democracy and republic. And the majority rules, minority loses. So they want to maintain this numerical advantage. So they base off the population, which one they can claim to give themselves a numerical advantage. So you say that this Whitney, Kendrick's wife, oh, she'll be colored. She won't be a white. Yeah. I mean, in South Africa, yeah, okay, but everywhere else in Africa, her ass ain't a colored or a black. She's gonna be white. Okay. I know. You go to Ghana, you go to Kenya, you go to Uganda, all over Africa. they're going to say she's white. They're not going to say she's a colored or a black or whatever. But yeah, in South Africa, I haven't been yet. I plan on going. I'm building connections. I do want to go sooner than later. Hopefully by next year, I can be out there in South Africa. It's a long ass plane ride, man. I'm telling you, it's like a whole day to get out there from where I'm at. But I do want to go out there to South Africa. But I'm just my analysis as an outsider looking in, or my observation. I'm pretty sure, like I've seen in the UK, they have a white with the Indian. They're going to say that the child's white, right? For those numbers. You tell me. You tell me. I'd love to hear your response. I think Childish Gambino's with an Asian woman. Maybe in West Africa, they call Kendrick's wife white because there are very few actual white people. That's because they are generally very hostile towards white people. Yeah, in West Africa, yeah, she's going to be white. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar's wife, yeah. Even I'm white out there, and Drake is white. Yeah. Yeah, and all those nations for sure. Damn, we're going long. We're going overtime over here, huh? Phil Scott's wife is full blown. Yeah, she's a Spaniard. And they try to lie, be like, oh, well, she got 7% Native American blood. And they try to claim Native. That's not fucking black. And that's not Bantu. But you see how the dark skinned Bantus are trying to claim non black blood as being black. I saw that video. Phil Advice Show trying to claim his Spaniard, his Spanish partner, his wife had some like native indigenous blood or something. Like, bro, that's not black. They try to justify, man. That's what I'm saying. That pro-black shit's such a grift. You look at Philip Scott, you look at Kendrick Lamar, Tariq Nasheed just scamming his own damn people. Married to a mulatto, but yet he's talking shit about mulattoes selling DVDs. Like, that's what I'm saying with the blacks, the scamming component, they're good at that. They call it the max. You could be a Mac. You could be a player like Tariq Nasheed. He's a Mac. He's a player. You're gonna trick people and scam them and shit. You know, mainly the women. They're good at doing it to women, creating more bastard kids, bastard baby mamas. But they're really good at scamming, is what I've noted. I've came to that epiphany recently. I was like, with the violence and the combat, they're really taking a lot of fucking L's. I mean, shout out to the guy Patrick, and he's right. And I was like, people are training boxing and jiu-jitsu, basically making sure that these savages don't fucking run up on him. Like, so if it ever comes to like hand-to-hand combat out here, they know how to deal with this beast. So everyone's taking jiu-jitsu and everyone's training MMA and boxing, So this idea that some fucking savage is 6'2" or 200 pounds or whatever, like, he can still get stomped out. That's not a problem. If he doesn't know how to fight, he's not training like every day. Like some of these people out here, like a guy like me, well, he can still get fucked up. We don't care you're 6'2", 230 pounds. You don't train, you're just, another dumb savage that can get fucked up. And that's what I agree with the cat Patrick, or yeah, that's his name, Patrick. That's what he's talking about. Like, people out here are training. People out here are training now. Like this idea where we're just gonna be out here get fucking punked or be marks. Like, no, everyone's training. The white boys, the Mexicans, everyone's training. Everyone's watching UFC. That's the only shit I watch. I don't watch basketball. I can't tell you who won the championship. I don't watch baseball. I don't watch football. I don't watch none of that stuff. But I do watch the fights. Yeah, I watch all the fights. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hidden Colors documentaries are the worst things I've ever seen. I can't believe anyone would believe what's in that. Yeah. They call Drake a colonizer. Okay, the way you just spelled that right there indicates that you're not an American. Dead giveaway. So I don't know who the hell you are. But funny thing is, on the internet, man, everyone pretends to be something they're not. But you have a guy like me, I got my face all over the damn place. You see me, you hear what I'm saying. And so what? You're gonna cry about it? You're what are you gonna do? Expose him. Expose him. Look at him. He's bald and short and he's an incel. Like, expose him. What the fuck? But you see some of these accounts, you're like, I'm looking at your syntax and your spelling here, colonizer with an S. You're not an American. Okay. That's first, which is fine. That's cool. But just, I like people, I like transparency. I like people who are honest. I don't like people who pretend to be shit they're not. That's the issue you kind of get on social media, the internet. People put up a little avatar and try to pretend or something, whatever. It says, but white people own the music industry and the music labels. Yeah, well, blacks, anybody can create their own label and push their music, but they want to market their material to people that got a lot of money in their pockets. They never call any racism from black people if, black people, they like the disrespect apparently. Yeah, I think you're talking about some of these mixed people, huh? Yeah, they never call out black people's racism, do they? And it's the same with some of these mixed people who don't call out these whites talking shit about mixed kids. They don't say a damn thing, do they? And I pointed that out in my video, where video I uploaded today or the other day. They don't say shit. You have Sage Steele, big platform, Amala, big platform, the Hodge twins. Now, the Hodge twins, they don't identify as mixed. They just identify as black, whatever. Fucking idiots. I don't listen to those idiots. The grifters. A lot of these other conservative grifters, like these mulattoes, like, yeah, when it's time to talk shit about the blacks and how they're all liberals, like they're all there. Like all these mulatto grifters. Oh, they're the Democratic plantation. You all, and that's like, bro, but they don't call out these whites who talk shit about mixed people, calling you fucking half breeds and talking shit about the kids, saying they're ugly. Like, I'm gonna go into a lot more. I got more material. I just got, I'm like everyone else out here. I'm working, doing other shit. But someone's got to say something, because I don't see none of these people, these large platforms, they don't say nothing about that. Like they have their channels talking about the blacks voting for Democrats. We get it. A lot, they're slaves. I mean, they love Kendrick Lamar. They love the slave music. Like, we get it. Like, they just want white acceptance. So they're voting for the Democrats, trying to get white acceptance. But why don't they call out these whites who are talking shit about these mixed kids? I've never seen anybody make a video about that. I don't see it on the internet. And I'm sitting there like, how is this socially acceptable for you to sit there and allow them to say that without challenging and critiquing that? I can't live with myself and allow this stuff to go unsaid. Well, we're not supposed to say nothing about that, because everyone's cocky and comfortable. It's too easy talking shit about blacks. They talk shit about themselves. Like they clown themselves every day. And the music, the hip hop, like you don't get points. It's too easy. They do it to themselves. But when you challenge, when you critique and question the whites, why are you opening your fucking mouth about these mulatto kids? I don't see nobody saying it, because you don't have real representation. You don't have real representation. You're underneath blackness. You already know the blacks are treating you like a punching bag. This is a situation you're in right now. They look like they're recorded on a 2006 cricket phone. A Kendrick halftime show sounds so boring. I wanted my girl Miley Cyrus. I used to be obsessed with Hannah Montana. I never watched that Hannah Montana crap. Disney Channel. He said, I quit caring who says the N-word. It's pointless to correct people. Yeah, I don't care. That's why when West Africans come to South Africa, they're surprised that we have so many actual white people. They want us to get rid of them. But since we won't, we are seen as worshiping whites. Oh, interesting. You have a lot of Nigerians who were in. I think you guys had a couple riots over the past couple years, because a lot of the black South Africans were getting a little tired of the Nigerians acting up out there. I seen something about that. The whole Hidden Colors Tariq never brings up the Jews. Yeah, I don't know. Who does he bring up? Hidden Colors. he brings up just white. He just generalizes white people, doesn't he? He never specifies if they're Catholic, if they're Protestant, if they're Jewish, what's their religious philosophy that's basically guiding them in their decisions. He never directly cites that, does he? The religion. He just kind of groups them all together. They're all the same. And he does that same thing with the mulattoes, right? He's the same thing. But see, only the men, though. Only the men. Like, it's the same with the whites, though. Like, when the whites talk shit about the mulatto children, they're talking about the males. They look at the male as a threat competitor. Because a lot of these white incels, if Zendaya gave them the time of day, they'd be all open to it. Even Meghan Markle, all these mulattas. Like, that's the thing with the white incels. They look at the mulatto male as a competitor. That's why they always talk shit about the males and how the males look and the kids, the babies. It's always the males. You guys, I'm going to point it out in these videos I'm going to share. These white incels, they're talking shit about the males. It's the same with these blacks like Tariq, because they're all on the same team. They look at us as the males as competitors, not the women. Yeah. Let's see what we got. A couple more of these before it's almost 3-hour mark. Let me end this. Yeah. The obsession with the police is odd to me. Yeah, just obey the law, follow the rules. How hard is that? It has been nice and fulfilling to connect with other mulattoes. At least Umar is kind of funny. Other pro-wax can't say the same. I don't think any of them are funny, to be honest with you. They're all a bunch of scammers. So I said they're good at scamming people. You know, the pro-wax, they scam the low self-esteem and insecurity of Black Americans. That's their main market, is Black Americans, right? The former slaves. Because other blacks, they know who they are. I mean, you go to Ghana or Uganda or even they said Nigeria, they're not really scammed. They're a bunch of fucking scammers in Nigeria. We all know that. They scam everybody around the world with their emails and shit. In those cultures, there's a bunch of scammers. So they scam their own group and other groups. But I feel like the Black Americans, they can't out scam the Nigerians. They can't out scam them, man. Nigerians are too crafty. And I feel like the Black Americans, their market is scamming not only other Black Americans, but especially the mixed people in America, people that have like distant Black ancestry. So specifically mulattoes and, Blasians and for sure Afro Latinos. I feel like these demographics, the multiracial people with Black ancestry in America, they're the number one people who are getting scammed by Black Americans. I feel like Black Americans can't out scam Nigerians because Nigerians, not generalizing, but a lot of them, they're known for being scammers and shit. So it's part of their culture, man. You go at the West Africa, I was in Ghana. The people who are trying to scam me are not only just like merchants, but like the taxi drivers, the taxi cab drivers. There's just a bunch of fucking scammers out there in that environment. It's kind of unfortunate. There's a lot of nice people, a lot of good people, but there's just a scamming people's part of their culture. It's part of their culture. You can disagree all you fucking want, but I have firsthand knowledge being there. I know what the game is. So Proud Mulatto puts, right, I've driven thousands of kilometers and never been pulled over. I voluntarily approached police officers to greet them or ask them a question. All were nice. Black Americans are forcing the whole Blackism and African stuff onto Brazil. You put, I think we can range well, but they need to put the same fitness and diet efforts in, and no tanning, of course. You said white women can age very well. They just need to avoid sun tanning. American Black and whites don't age as well as Europeans and non-American Black people, just saying. So the habits here aren't usually good. Gooning. I heard gooning is new slang term for masturbation. Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're basically trying to say, that I'm gooning. You're gooning. And they'll say you're glazing and all this other dumb shit. Yeah, you're gooning. Why? Because I share a pic. I share a couple pics of like Zoe Kravitz. Like, who doesn't want to look at her? Or I shared a picture of Mulatto's cover. Like, I promote mulattoes on this page. That's the whole premise. Like, if you don't, this is what the whole channel, the whole premise of the channel is. Like, there's other channels on YouTube. I follow a ton of them. I follow guitar channels. I play the guitar. If I want to learn a new song, I follow guitar channels. Like, I follow travel channels. What the fuck? So on this channel here, my channel, it's very specific, unique niche that's highly exclusive to a degree where we prioritize and center mulattoes, period, unapologetically. So I share images of people I feel like it's worthy enough of, what? you know, I'm gooning, you're a simp, man, because you're sharing pictures of these chicks. Yeah, fuck, whatever, man. I had a guy on a forum contact me wanting me to be mean to him for money. He was from India. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, see that? Be mean to him for money. That's that pay pig shit. Yeah, there's a whole market for that. And I feel like with that Shira 7, like they're trying to tap into that market. That's basically sex work, right? They can lie and pretend all they want. They're trying to make more like publicly acceptable terms, like they're saying like level up. Like to me that's all that is. It's like they're basically opening up the door for like making like sex work common, in a sense where like trying to grift and scam men or get men to pay them to humiliate them. Like I said, you can say whatever you want about these women, but it's the men that are down bad and fucked up. Like if you're gonna pay a woman money to talk shit about you or like ignore you or some crap, because they have that. There's guys who will pay women money to like be on camera and just ignore them. It's that fucking sad. It's very bad out here, and it's men's fault. Period. Because there's a whole market for this, and So what's up, guys? I mean, what are you gonna say? There's a whole market for this shit. For a pay pig and a cuck, you're gonna give some chick money to fucking talk shit about you. That's all this level up shit. Like no one's paying these random hoes money for nothing. I mean, obviously there are people who are, but I mean, I don't know how big that market is. I mean, whatever. I don't care. By the way, the forum was unrelated to sex work. I was talking shit on someone and he DM'd me. That's sad. Hey, I like the way you talk shit. I'll give you $20 to talk more shit. Fuck. That just shows you how depraved a lot of these guys are, man. Like this is what you're up against. And these type of guys will literally sell their soul to the devil. And these are the golden sphere type of guys that I ran into. Like these are the type of guys that will try to stab me in the back, throw me under the bus for some fucking chick they've never even seen in their life, for an avatar. There's these guys. There's one guy, not going to mention his name, but he's always trying to find people to fucking go back and forth with, the clout chase, because he has no content. So he wants to go to battle with different people for content. And this guy was like caping for an avatar, trying to like go after me. Never seen the woman. That's pathetic and sad. That's what we see out here. You got guys like that. They'll do the bidding for women. They'll pay women money just to talk shit to them or what. Just it's fucking bad. It's horrible out here, man. Her husband looks like a husk. Was at Shira 7. I don't know. I don't like Kamala's politics, but she's very pretty. I think most of us can agree on that. And a lot of these Kamala supporters, they just don't like Trump. Let's be honest. Like you guys got horrible options in American politics. It's been that way for decades, ever since I can remember. It's like people like they support Kamala, just they don't like Trump for very obvious reasons. Trump is pretty much a piece of shit. And Kamala has proved herself to be untrustworthy, a scammer, and she's just the ultimate politician where she'll do whatever she's told for a paycheck, you know. So like we have horrible options out here. Someone on Twitter, you know, basically put a comment, who do you support? Who are you going to vote for, Kamala or Trump? Why don't you tell me who you support, who you vote for? I only start with that. I'm not trying to influence you guys. You make your own decisions. You're all adults. This is an adult channel, an adult page. I cater to adults. You guys tell me. I don't give a shit who you vote for. I'm just telling you, look, if you're going to support Bantus, they owe you money. They need to pay you. And that's for everybody else. But the Bantus ask for the most. That's the only reason why I'm saying this. They want you to identify as black and be black and fight for their battles against white supremacy and all this crap. They owe you money. They got to pay you. I'm just trying to tell mulattoes, just please make sure they pay you. Make sure they give you something out of the whole ordeal. Okay? Stop getting fucking used, because when you do that, when you give these Bantus freebies, they think they can get away with that scammer shit with the rest of us. So it fucks up the whole game. It dilutes the market. They think they can get away with that with all of us. They're going to scam the rest of us and shit. Oh man, you just don't like being black. You just wish you were white. They play that same slave game. I just don't want to deal with you people, you slaves, man. I'll deal with the black people who like being black. That's it. I'll deal with the black people who aren't going to do that slave shit trying to tell me, oh man, institutional racism. You just don't like being black. I don't want to deal with you people. Like, I've already been to Africa and I already know there's proud black people around the world. I'll deal with them. I'm not going to deal with the slaves who want to tell the damn biracial who's half black, oh, you just wish you were white. You just don't like being black. Like, that's just some slave talk. And you mulattoes, you got to position it and put it back in their face like that. When they start talking like that, you just hate your blackness. You got to let them know they sound like slaves. Like, some low insecure shit, because a person who's confident, like other groups of people, they'd be like, yeah, fuck you. If you don't like being a part of us, you ain't a part of our group. But you got these slaves who want to convince you, like try to shame you or something. It's very weird. Like they're trying to like shame you and bully you to be like in their group or something like that. Other groups have pride in who they are. They're basically going to tell you, hey, fuck you. If you don't identify with us, if you're not a part of us, then get out of here. No, that's, to me, it seems normal, but yeah, I'm just saying if they want to do all the little dark skin tears and the slave talk, they just got to pay you for your troubles. Fuck that. I'm not doing it for free. You like Pretty Women, but you sounded a bit cheap about financially generous with a partner. Modern Shakespeare. You like Pretty Women, but you sounded a bit cheap about being financially generous with a partner. Are you another one of these hookers? Another one of these grifters? Cheap with a partner. So I stated, okay, look, she's your partner. You're providing for her. Well, let's break that down. Providing. The rent's paid, her car's paid, her insurance is paid, her phone's paid, her pedicure, her manicure paid, her gym membership paid, her yoga's paid, all the food's paid, everything's paid. Like, what? So on the break off or another allowance, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go buy yourself some clothes, some shoes. Like, I don't understand. Like, what are you talking about a bit cheap? I basically said, like, if it's my partner, everything's paid. That's the man's job. You're a provider. You're going to provide everything. So what's this whole cheap? You're talking about being cheap. It just sounds like some hooker scammy shit. Like you're trying to just like extract money and scam a man. And it's like you're thrilled off the idea of like coming up off a man and taking something from a man. Like that's what it seems like to me. With your little troll account, Modern Shakespeare. Well, nobody cares. I'm just talking about this stupid comment. Like you're just exposing yourself for some weirdo kind of Shira 7 hooker angle. You sound cheap. You sound cheap. You need to pay for, pay for your used fucking roast beef sandwich. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Kamala is very attractive. Yeah, I'll check out the video. Appreciate that. he won't marry her because she already had kids with him, but she could get money because of the kids. Yeah, you're talking about Whitney and little Kenny there. Yep. She doesn't need to stay for money. We're at 3 hours right now, so I'm going to end it in a couple seconds. White South Africans generally do not procreate with other races. In cases where they do procreate outside their race, the offspring is not regularly regarded as pure white. Yeah, not pure white, but there's nuances and technicalities where they'll still bring them into the white family. That's in the United States. They kind of have to do that for the numeric, especially now today, more than ever, because the numbers. Because the United States has always been an immigrant nation. The prior, you can call settlers or pioneers. Some people, they're using the term colonizer, right? They kind of killed off the native population to bring in a new kind of crop of people, different nations, but it's always been supplied the population with immigrants. So, and what the white nationalists are kind of upset about, even Trump is part of that camp because they all support him, is that they're not bringing in people from Germany or Scandinavia. Well, yeah, because they already have good economies, good nations. Why the hell are they going to come to America in some of the shithole cities like in this society when they already have stuff going on in their environments? So they're bringing in people in America, United States, like from Nigeria, from Haiti, from India, Afghanistan, these other nations, brown people, or Mexico, right? And so all the white nationalists are crying about that. And they're saying the same thing in Europe. They're bringing in the whole, they're talking about the whole great replacement theory, the Kalergi plan, some other white nationalist rhetoric, propaganda they're spreading, a lot of conspiracies. Yeah. And so the thing is like, but in the United States, the dynamics are a little different because, yeah, they're mixing in with all these Mexicans and they claim the Mexicans as whites. So it's like, yeah, they're going to have to fuse with one of these groups, either the Asians or the Latinos. In the United States and the Americas, the Latinos is the group they chose. They're going to fuse with them to maintain a numerical advantage. Because with the Asians, they're kind of going to get overlapped because the Asians have very strong genes, even with the blacks. Even the Asians mix with the blacks, their kids are not fucking black. Like they look Blasian. Asians have very strong genes. So when they mix with other demographics, the Asian genes overlap. Like I've seen half Mexican, half Korean. The lady just looks purely like Korean with like brown skin. I can kind of tell she's mixed, it looks exotic, but like Asian people generally overlap these other groups genetic wise. I don't have the vocabulary, scientific background to go into that, but I feel like a lot of the whites, they're in the United States. I'm saying specifically in this environment I'm in, they're choosing to mix in with the Latinos to broaden and expand their numbers. This is the trajectory we see, why they have this open border policy. They want the males. See, it's again, like I said, with the white nationalists, they don't like the mulatto men. Hence, they're hating on the mulatto kids who are males. They don't like the black males, right? Because they don't want the black males to have access to white women to create more mulatto male children who will grow up to be adults, be competitors. Okay. And then they don't like when they talk about illegals and all these MAGA people, build the wall. They're not talking about build the wall for the Mexican women. They want to build the wall for the Mexican men. They took our job, the construction workers, the Mexicans. They're talking about the men, not the women, because the white boys, they want access to the Latina women. They're cool with the women. They have an issue with the men. This is what you're really witnessing. Okay, I'll get more into that later. Let me finish this off. Nobody defends mulatto children. Yeah. Blacks never left the plantation. They like when whites are against mulattoes. Oh, yeah. They're cheering it on. Yep. They go crazy online for a full black child. As they should, but this is proof that we aren't black. Yeah, because they highlight it's mixed race. And the whites are cocky as fuck to think they can come out here with their big platforms to talk shit. It's one thing if it's some troll account or some burner account talking shit, but that Elijah Schaefer guy, And I apologize, guys. I didn't even pronounce his whole damn name. I rewatched the video. I called him Elijah Schaefer. All right, I called him Eli Schaefer in like my video, but his name is Elijah Schaefer. So I do that a lot. I'm bad with names. I mispronounce words. I'm human. But that guy has a huge platform, like 500K followers on YouTube and 500K followers on X. So he's got a lot of engagement, a large following, and people in the comments were pointing that out. Like, you got a huge following and you're talking shit about a kid. That's what I'm saying. So you see a guy like that who's talking shit about mixed kids, but he never said black kids. He said mixed kids. So it's good. Like, they're highlighting the fact that we're not like these blacks, but at the same time, why does he feel like it's comfortable? Well, we got to check his ass. How many of you mulattoes are up to task to do that? Oh, no, I don't see that many. No. So I'll be the bad guy. I'll be I already have a target on my back. Right. This is, like I said, I did that song from Immortal Technique, the front lines. This is a life I chose. This is it. It has to be this way. I'm not going to sit around here and allow these people to fucking disrespect you. No. People think everyone out here is playing a game and cooning it up and laughing and all this shit. It all depends on what kind of grandparents, offspring of the mixed couple has. Conservative grandparents are more racist and unaccepting of mixed grandchildren. The liberal ones are more open. Yes, South Africans have had a lot of problems with Nigerians in our country. They cause issues that are simply too numerous to mention. Oh, let's see what we got. I know posting mulatto women is not simping. I know you're uplifting our race. Nigerians in South Africa are responsible for crimes like selling drugs, fraud, human trafficking, and turning South African women into prostitutes. They play the Pan-Africanism card when we complain. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's that scammer coming out of them, right? And the blacks do that here in America. Oh, man, we fighting white supremacy. You a brother, after they're committing crimes and shit. You look at all these, like, Brother Polite was a pro-whack. Dark-skinned Bantu talking about the black woman is God. His name was Brother Polite. He's a big scammer, SAing women and trafficking and all this other crap. And you had another guy, similar situation, another dark-skinned Bantu. His name is Nature Boy. This is a black American people. Nature Boy, literally dark-skinned Bantu calling himself boy, Nature Boy. And he was another guy, like I said, trafficking. He had a cult, a sex cult, and all this crap. He got charged with crimes. And yeah, they're scamming. They're scamming everybody. But they pull that pro-whack shit to cover up their criminality and savagery. Oh man, we fighting the system, the colonizer, right? That's how they're scammers. That's how they work. He says you are correct, but it's actually $25. I don't see any black men ever being a pay pig. Yeah, because they're probably too broke to have the funds. $25 is too much to them. $25 to talk shit in a chat. You at least got to show me some feet or some shit. That's the big kink. For $25 just to talk some shit. Some Indian dude's gonna give you $25. Just talk shit to me. I like how you talk shit. Fuck out of here. Meaning that they want South Africans to continue to allow them to be in the country illegally in the name of Pan-Africanism. But we South Africans have had enough of them. We want them gone. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that's been a problem for the past years. Like I said, I don't see that much media or news in South Africa. But I do remember seeing a occurrence of that where there were actual like riots where South Africans were like kind of targeting some of the Nigerians, telling them to get the F out of there because they were causing a lot of trouble. So I do know there is an issue there. I think Trump's personality isn't likable for everyone. As a president, I don't think he was bad as far as doing the job. Did he do a good job? What did he do? What did he accomplish? Because I hear a lot of these idiots talk about, when Trump was president, I had more money in my pockets. Now, I was listening to a stream of the lady Denise Gonzalez, Puerto Rican lady. Her partner is a black male. It is important. That's why I'm mentioning it. And I saw her stream the other day, and she was basically pro-Trump, talking about when Trump was in office, she had more money in her pocket. I'm like, can you? I was putting some comments, but I didn't specify. I wanted her to specify, well, how? How did he affect your pocketbook? Because that's one of the main angles that these wannabe conservatives and, you know, Johnny come lately Republicans, they try to say, well, when Trump was in office, I had more money in my pocket. Now that Joe Biden's in office, inflation, all they can cite is that they had more money. But how do they measure that? They can't measure it. They just make shit up to justify why they like the guy. Oh, he had more money. The gas was cheaper. More money in my pocket. Like, that's not, you can't really calculate that, can you? People just make up that shit. You had more money in your pocket. What, you had a better job when Trump was in office? Really? Was it a Trump policy? What policy did he enact that directly benefited your pocketbook? Less taxes. Well, how? Did you calculate how they? No, none of these people have these answers. No. I live in Louisiana, and dark-skinned black dudes were disrespectful in many of my workplaces. I always have to confront these bonobos. They think I'm gonna steal their girlfriends or something. You put some of them try to get me fired. Oh yeah, the blacks will work to get you fired if you work with them in the work environment. Yeah, a lot of them. And they'll work with these whites and they'll scheme with these whites and other groups to plot against you to get you fired. Oh yeah, you better, recognize what it is out here. Oh yeah, they'll scheme to get, if you're a mulatto and you're in a work environment with these bantus, they'll work with whites and everyone else try to get your ass fired. Oh yeah. Yeah. The cat's out the bag, ladies and gentlemen. The cat's out the bag. Okay. They let a few Ukrainians in due to the war. Yeah. Racism is exclusively anti-male. Exactly. Yeah. Because we analyze that with the blacks, the Bantus, the dark-skinned black Bantus, their racism, it's always directed at the men, mulatto men, right? Because they want access to the mulatto women. Just like it is the black Bantus, they're against the white males, not the women. That's why I did a video. I shared that meme. It said, yeah, it was like, oh, white people, they didn't like, it was like a Drake meme with his hand, like, oh, I don't like that. But then he was like affirming or agreeing, oh, I like that. He's like, oh, they like white pussy, but he doesn't like white people. A lot of the black Bantus, that's how they are. They like white women, they want sexual access, but they don't like white males. They look as competitors. And the black Bantus are the same with us, with the mulatto men. They don't like us, they don't like Drake, but then Kendrick Lamar is married to a mulatto woman. Same thing we see with the white males. I don't really see them saying shit about these mulatto women. They might talk. Kamala's not mulatto. She's a Blindian. She's got an Indian mom. But they never, like I said, when I look at these images of these mixed kids, they're not talking about the females. They're talking about the males. They look at the males as competitors. Just like I talked a reference with the Mexicans, the Latinos. They're not going to build that fucking wall to keep the Mexican women out. Oh no. These white boys want access to the Mexican panocha. See, they're building that wall to keep the Mexican men out of here. Same thing in Europe. Because always their argument? Their argument's always grape. They're like, they're bringing in these immigrants and these immigrants are graping the See, it's always like they're putting up this facade and they're trying to make this argument that there's a threat from the males. The males are threatening to civilization and societies. They're anti-male. You know that. The racism is intertwined with misandry. It's anti-male inherently. Women are just kind of byproducts of that. And like I'm saying, it's from the blacks and the whites is mulattoes, because pun intended, we're in between, pun intended, for all intents and purposes. We catch hell from both sides. we get the double the racism. So I'm just trying to provide a think tank information network to help other people kind of sort out these problems and dilemmas and find a solution, navigating through it. But it's inherently, as you said, very misandrous and anti-male. We look at this type of racism. They only cry and complain about the men when you analyze these individuals in their social media. Immortal Technique is a top mulatto. He's not even mulatto. Immortal Technique's not a mulatto. He's against the word mulatto. He's not one of us. He's a Latino with his little 25% African admixture. He can stay over there with the blacks and act black. I played one of his songs because I like it. He's an entertainer. That's it. Okay. But he's not a mulatto. Let me just publicly make that, clear. He's not one of us. I never understood how anyone could support Tyler Perry, especially with the whole Madea thing. I never watched one Tyler Perry movie, and I never plan on doing it either. When I worked in the hood every other day, an older black woman would try to get me fired. They were customers. I had one situation with this hood white woman there who had a mulatto twins. She also tried it. Get out the hood. That's my final message. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.